What is going on, everybody?
Oh, you're doing it.
Back. My fault. What is going on, everybody? I'm so used to solo streaming and then, unmuting, and I forgot that this
I literally said I was going to do it, Sam.
Listen,
I literally said I was going to do it. You messed it up. We had a whole thing going. I wrote out a whole intro.
Sorry, bro.
No, it's fine. No, go ahead.
Okay, I will.
What's
going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Finals Central, or if you're on Cody and I's stream, welcome in. Tonight is a special night because we are bringing back TFC Pugs. Now, if you're not familiar with what TFC Pugs are, we used to host these in our Discord relatively often, but they were more sporadic and they weren't casted here on the channel. But we want to make this a more common thing, ideally weekly, and an opportunity for you, if you're interested in production or casting or playing, an opportunity for you to do that during the week. It's very low stakes. It's going to be a very chill stream overall. And so overall, this should be an awesome time. And I'm just happy to see it back because overall, big range of talent here, from people who have been in Diamond before all the way down to people in Gold. It's going to be a great lobby nonetheless. So Cody, how you feeling, man? We're back. We are so back.
I'm feeling really good, Sam, and genuinely, I'm just ready to get into the games, but I do want to explain one thing, because you stole my thunder, is if you're not familiar with how Pugs works, it is super simple. You show up, you play, there's no signups, there's no pre-made teams, you literally just show up. It's not that hard. You queue up, you get matched automatically, a game pops, it's one and done, best of one. You win, you move on, you lose, you get right back into the queue. It's easy, it's light work. Okay, you can have multiple games running at once. It's not just one lobby. We have an elo system to track your wins and your losses, and we'll be jumping between tons of matches to give you the best of the best action. So yeah, just join the Discord, hop in the queue. That's all I can say.
Yeah,
it's that simple.
Very free, and you can hop in and out as much as you want. We'll be going for hopefully an hour tonight, and if people are still running it, we'll keep it going. But if people are ready to head out, we'll tap out there. So it's gonna be a good time nonetheless. It does look like we already have a team ready. We are just waiting on the rest of them to join the lobby. We're gonna be playing final round this evening, no cash outs. And we're going to be running it down on Fortune Stadium to start the evening off. Maps are randomly generated. Teams do have the opportunity to either go balanced or captains or things like that. Elo has been completely reset, like Cody mentioned. So overall, it should be a, total toss-up on what we're going to see here. So it should be very interesting.
All right. Well, Sam, I think we're already ready for our first match.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go ahead and get it underway. Let's not waste any more time. Let's hop into Fortress Stadium for our first match of the evening. On the side of the Boundless, we've got Tech Ninja, Navy Street, and Kai. And on the side of the Live Wires, we've got Utopian, Nex, otherwise known as Baby Metal Fan in game, and Jog. All these people very, very active in our community over on Discord, which, again, as Cody mentioned, you guys should totally join. Our goal this year is actually to get to 1,000 members, and we're already growing. I think we're around 465, actually almost 470 members. I literally just looked and like 4 more people joined. So get in on the action. It's your opportunity to get in, have some games casted, enjoy our lovely voices over the mic. So here we go, though. Loading into Fortune Stadium.
Yep. Sam, what is your favorite thing about this map? It's the Pugs. We gotta get talking. What do you love about Fortune Stadium?
So watching this map at the high level, I mentioned it this past week when we were casting Luck Cup, which if you haven't seen the VOD, definitely check that out. But one of the things that I love is that people have started to learn how to manipulate spawns on this map. They've done a good job of controlling, basically pushing you out and making you spawn where you kind of don't want to be. So I'm curious to see, obviously, if some of these players are able to pull that off in this lobby. And yeah, I think it's also very fun when we do Pugs and community tournaments here in our community because it's, like I said, varying skill levels. We see people run a lot of different loadouts that we don't typically see, when we're watching Pro League or Luck Cup or things like that. So overall, it should be an awesome event. But we're going to go ahead and jump on to Tech Ninja here for the Boundless as they're going to get things started for us. Hopping over here. I know they're relatively new to the finals as well. Only been playing for about 2 seasons, but they took home a caster tournament win. Actually, a coaches tournament win. Sorry, I believe. I'm trying to remember who was in charge of that. I know Zuki was involved in a couple, and the team that Tech Ninja was on actually took home the dub. So it sounds like some awesome knowledge was brought out there. They worked with quite a few coaches, and I'm curious to see if any of that knowledge comes through. Good job already of setting up Goo and blocking out the Live Wires led by Utopian there on the sledge. In the stairwell, the Goo wall does get taken down. Jumping on board Navy Street now on the Deagles RPG Zone C4. Starting to pop some shots into that stairwell, but none really going to connect just yet. Jog was in critical health, but did go ahead and drop down as well, and he's full regened as the fight has reset Cody.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Navy Street's in a really good spot here. He has the height. He has good angles with the Deagles. And you know, he says what? I don't like the height. I'm going to drop down, and I'm going to get into the thick of it. And he's already pushing in, getting some good damage onto Utopian. Jog able to get the health up, though. And we are having a fight starting to brew, Sam. The C4 comes out. A lot of damage from Kai. Good shots. The RPG onto Navy Street taking a lot of damage. I'm not too sure what's going to happen, but Kai is now down, and so is Utopian. It is a 2v2, Sam. Who do you think is going to take this?
Yeah, Kai with a nice pick on Utopian there, kind of caught him in the open. He's obviously on that sledgehammer as well, you know, so there's no way to actually exchange damage from that far away, especially when you're on light with dash and the ARN. So overall, nice fight selection there out of Kai and a heads up play. Unfortunately, does get traded out there, but now the fight is happening onto Baby Mel, and down he goes to Tech Ninja. 2v1 situation, Boundless in the lead here as Jog is trying to kite for his life and maybe make something happen here with that. Does find one. Onto Navy Street. Tech Ninja down to critical health as well, continuing to chow. Jog down to 8 HP. Utopian did coin in, back up to full HP, but he's going to be on that sledge. This is a tough situation if you're going to push in onto him, but he has been practicing with the Dojo of FAO, and if you're not familiar with them, go check out the VODs from Cash Out, Crash Out, as they were a triple melee team. He's been taking lessons. I've played with them directly, and I know he can make some magic happen on this sledge, Cody.
Yeah, you are absolutely right. I mean, man, those melee boys are scary. They're scary to see, and Utopian is taking some time to reset, get his team up, you know, go into the next fight, you know, fully prepared and ready to go. And the Boundless are setting up the cash box, so we're going to head over to them. Let's see what they're doing. They probably have a lot of util to use. We got light, medium, and heavy, which is the usual, and the live wires are running the heavy, medium, Sam. So, you know, even though we're seeing a lot of double heavy, we're still seeing the light, medium, heavy trying to take it home.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm actually surprised to see the double heavy medium coming out here, and not to like take a dig at the community or anything, but you know, like I said, we see a wide range of skill. However, I will say Utopian next, who is Baby Metal fan, and also Jog are actually relatively around the same rank, I realize. So maybe it does make a little more sense. You know, I'm just surprised by it. But flip attempt coming in now out of Jog onto Cash Out A here. Nice defense out of the double heavies. The flip does come through in favor of the Livewires. Baby Metal picking up Navy Street as Kai trades out Utopian. 2v2 situation is next. Down to half health, but we see some health regen kicking in. It looks like a blueberry. There goes the full regen now, Cody.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, already some great shots coming out from Tech Ninja with the F-Car. Ton of damage, but it's really tough because they're already down one, and he's running right into the middle of the team. There's three of them. Throws down the goo, tried to rock off the angle, but it's not enough. I think he cut himself off from Kai. Not really a great spot. We still have 3 seconds left on the coin from Navy Street, and down goes Tech Ninja by the hands of Baby Metal with the shack, Sam.
Yeah, Navy Street actually, or Tech Ninja, sorry, looking really good there with that F-Car. Recharling there on the stairs, actually with a nice egg glitch. I thought he might find one there, I believe, onto Jog or next. I'm not really sure, but unfortunately does get traded out here. We're gonna jump on board with Kai now to see what opportunities he can make. He does get winched in by Utopian with that sledgehammer. Deadly combo if you're on the light, but does make it out with his life using that gateway. Just needs to be careful and make sure that he does not get caught out or chased. Doesn't look like that's gonna be the case. He's gonna regroup onto Navy Street now. Kai trying to make some damage happen, but Jog, nice shots with that repeater there to clean that up. 2v3 situation. Jog down to half health. This is tradable, but Navy Street fighting for his life as well as he goes down to Jog. Jog absolutely frying this lobby, Cody.
Absolutely. I mean, taking a look at the scoreboard, we got 2 kills from Baby Metal and 4 kills from Jog. I mean, you can say it. I mean, yeah, you're right. Jog is kind of cleaning up the lobby right now. Over on the Boundless, we're having some good kill, you know, disparity. It's not too much, but struggling to get some kills from Navy Street here, which is weird because it's the heavy, right? I mean, maybe they're struggling to go up against that double heavy. It's really tough. You need to have the team with you playing together because there's a lot of health to get through.
Yep, you're absolutely right, Cody. And like you said, double heavy, we've seen how oppressive it is, especially in final round. I expect to see a lot of it this evening, honestly, and in pro play as things are ramping up here in the finals 2026 season. One thing that the Boundless are going to need to do is really play around Kai here in that glitch grenade. I mean, it is the only piece of util that can immediately get rid of these shields and help them close the gap. But on the flip side of that, they do need to make sure they're also keeping the distance away out of Utopian, who can be absolutely lethal with that winch claw and the sledgehammer combo. We've seen what happens. Obviously, Cody, you play light. You know what happens when that overhead hits you right after the winch claw.
I know a lot that happens, Sam, a lot.
Livewires, though, going to go ahead and move the box here onto C inside Izzle. This is obviously one of the strongest power positions in the game. You can open up the wall and control these triangle pads. We already see Kai separated from the team. I'm not quite sure where his other 2 teammates are. It looks like actually they're coming up on a flank there on the back side. Here comes Jog, though, looking like he might chow. That does not. Utopian, winch goes out, does not connect here, but the rest of the live wire is going to chow onto the Boundless here. Utopian finally closing the gap on the Tech Ninja, does find one there. Navy Street down to half health as well, as Utopian's going to try to clean that up, but next, going to take care of that for him, and Jog finally landed that shot into Kai for a wipe on the Boundless in favor of the live wires.
Man, the Boundless looks like there is bounds to this team. It looks like they're struggling to push the live wires, Sam. I mean, that double heavy is really oppressive, and then you add a sledge to it. I mean, it is going to be really, really hard for Kai especially to push that, especially with the Arn, right? Like, the Arn is not something you want to be running against double heavy, in my opinion. I've said it before. You want to kind of pull out the 93R. We've seen that during the breakout plays. Arn is better for lights. That's just kind of how it is. It's the light gun.
Yeah, you're right, Cody. That was something that we saw on Breakout last week during our watch party, which you guys should totally tune into if you're part of our community. We saw that the V9S obviously caught a nerf earlier in the week, and actually 93R kind of worked its way back into the mix. However, at Luck Cup was the opposite. We actually didn't see it, I think, at all the entire day, which was pretty incredible. And we also saw, again, the double heavy Reigning Supreme as Utopian does pick up Tech Ninja there. Nice pick early on in this fight, and time is dwindling down on this cash out, Cody, as damage is ringing out. Jog in lethal condition, though, as Navy Street cannot find that last shot onto him. Baby Metal picking him up there. Kai, last one remaining on the Boundless, and this looks like dire straits if you're the Boundless, Cody.
Yeah, absolutely. And unfortunately, Kai just isn't able to hold it out because Jog hits the nice shots with the CB01 repeater. And unfortunately, the live wires are taking it home for the first game of TFC Tuesday Pug, Sam.
Yep, absolutely. A great start to the evening. A fun one to watch. You know, we saw Utopian finally close that gap and just get a ton of lethal damage with that sledgehammer that just ultimately kind of sealed the deal. Jog also, again, just doing a good job of controlling Kai there with the repeater. You know, I know he hasn't been playing ranked as much this season, but look at him going 6-1, all gold stats out of the fella. He is, I mean, absolutely popping off.
Yeah, I mean, overall, an entire team, not really a ton of deaths. It looks like they only had one, maybe two deaths at most, and I'm not even sure if they technically wiped there, Sam. Looking at the scoreboard on the other side for the Boundless, Navy Street just really struggling to get in there. We saw a big damage disparity between the live wires and the Boundless, so maybe there was a little bit of a positioning change up, or maybe some util needed to move around. Fortunately, it's a best of one, so you go in with what you have, and there's no changing it.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're going to go ahead and take a quick break here before we load up into our next one, Cody, as it seems like the other lobby is ready to go here in just a moment. So we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. It'll literally be like 2 minutes. All right, welcome back, everybody. We have just gotten another lobby onto our hands. Honestly, the queue is kind of popular right now, so people are still getting a hang of how the system works. If you're new and haven't participated with Neat Queue before, it is our bot that runs our scrims here and pugs in our server. long story short, what you do is you're going to head to the final round Pugs channel in our Discord. From there, you can join a queue, and then you will be matched up against other players in that queue. If you are looking to queue with some friends, make sure you wait until that queue is empty so that you can get into that lobby together. We've gotten the lobby sorted out now, though. We're going to go ahead and get things underway as they join in. Cody, how's it been? How are we feeling about this one?
Feeling good. I'm glad I have the practice, because if I'm going to be doing as much casting as I want to do in the PHLP stream and observing at the same time, I'm going to need to lock in. I'm going to really need to lock in. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a interesting time here. We do have our teams finalized. It looks like they have been shifted over into their boys channel. We are going to be playing on Skyway Stadium, Cody.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun map. I love Skyway Stadium, honestly. I think it's really fun, especially when you learn a little bit of the spawn manipulations. That's what makes it very fun as well. So I'm excited to see it happen. Also, so just some fun names in the lobby is what I'm looking at. We're just waiting for the rest of them to get in here.
Yep, you're completely right. We see people like Wei Fao, which we obviously mentioned the Dojo Fao earlier today. We've seen some people with their TFCW tags in as well. We love to see that. If you want to join our in-game club, TFCW, it's in-game, free to join, open invite, I believe. So hop on in there. We've got plenty of spots available. I think there's like close to 30 maybe people in there at this point.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's popping, you know. We're trying to, you know, take over, I guess, in ranked and casual lobbies and things like that. So
yeah.
All right, and it does look like we are all in the lobby, so we are about ready to kick things off here. Like Cody said, Skyway Stadium is a map of longer range, something we don't see a lot in pro play unless a team really, really manages to not have it banned. Because, like he said, just like Fortune Stadium, it's easier to control the spawns. It's one that's been a little solved, especially when you're over on that office building, which is a major power position. And not only is it power position because of height, like over onto Mansion, but then also it allows you to take those triangle paths and push the spawns out even further so you can keep the enemy team spawning on that Mansion side, which is just devastating if you wind up in that blender. But let's not waste any more time. Let's go ahead and load into our second match of the day here on Skyway Stadium.
Yep, very, very excited. I want to kind of bring up that another point you already mentioned is like, man, Mansion spawn, when people have the office area, incredibly hard to just push that point. I mean, you really have to go out of your way to have a gateway or some sort of trick out of your sleeve to distract people. But already an interesting sort of team here on the side of the Boundless. We have triple medium, Sam, and it looks like a repeater. And I think that's an AK, if I'm looking correctly, which you don't see too often, and the R357 revolver.
Yeah, I do see Kawaii Coke in chat sending the raw. You are in game. Lock in, twin. Let's get it going, though. Jumping on board here with Grieveden, who did get that Mansion spawn. We know, like you said, how important it is to get out of this spawn quicker because of the high ground, as you can see on that office building like we were talking about earlier. However, it does look like Grieveden, I believe, is running double movement there. I saw the zip line, and I think I saw a pad coming out of them right after.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, the Livewire is taking a good effort to try to get that height. Kawaii Coke going for the tap on the box, and I guess they decided to jump down, which was probably a good idea because the Boundless are up there and holding a great position. Already damage coming in on a Kawaii Coke, but that doesn't mean too much because there's damage coming out towards the Boundless as well. Great, good spot here for the Boundless. I would stay here. I would hang out. I wouldn't really do too much because you can kind of hold the wires exactly where you need them to be, and they have no way of moving the box until this fight finishes. Icy already taking a ton of damage. Kawaii Coke trying to get it, you know, some sort of DMAT, getting an angle onto the Boundless. I'd really love for them to try to get some sort of reposition here, and maybe they're trying to do that, Sam. I see the gateway going down, up, all in front of them. Ton of damage coming out. Down goes Icy, down goes Kawaii. It is just Wei Fao on the light, trying to run away. Not a great spot here for the Livewires already. Don't really want to be in this position where you're already down one, but it is a-okay because Wei Fao was able to get the res onto Icy.
Yeah, Livewire is doing a decent job there. Unfortunately, Kawaii not looking to be on heal beam there, and I noticed Icy got down to critical HP, and I don't know, I don't think Kawaii's played the game much as of recent, so might not know of the meta changes just yet, but we did see that come into play there as Icy, like I said, was in critical health there. But jumping on to Wei Fao now, one of the three from the Dojo of Fao, so you can expect the melee as we're seeing the sword here out of the light. Gonna try to reposition and see if they can find a pick while they wait for the health to reach in. Ooh, I don't know.
Very scary.
does actually save their
Very
life there.
scary.
Ooh, that was scary. I've done that jump before and then saw the wall right in front of me and knew it was over, but being on light and having that dash saving him there.
Enemy spotted. Up there.
Yeah, absolutely. Jumping back in with Wayfout, already getting some H+ out. A lot of good utility out of there. And a ton of damage coming out onto Greaven. Wayfout trying to get the melee. Can't seem to hit it. The pad goes up and Greaven is incredibly high. And all of the Boundless are sitting up there, Sam. We are just trading height back and forth. This is crazy. Kawhi taking a ton of damage. Almost doesn't get down. Down goes Kawhi by Ebby. A ton of damage is going out onto the Livewires. Is not great here.
Yeah, I see taking a bunch of damage here as well. Ebby showing some beams out of this F-car. And like you said, Cody, the Boundless doing a good job on this triple medium of using their pads, continuing to flip the height onto their heads. Icy going down to Ebby there, and Mango finally going down, or picking up, sorry, Wayfoul.
Yeah, Livewire's actually doing pretty well here. I mean, they were kind of holding their own in this fight, and I do think it is a little bit more weighted towards the Boundless in this matchup here. You know, Icy and Kawhi are good friends of mine, and they have not played the game too much, so I promise you, please be easy on them, okay? We got to keep the numbers going, okay? We can't make them turn away from the game. They're too new. But they actually were holding their own. They were doing pretty good, especially, you know, having Wayfoul. I mean, Wayfoul's pretty good at what he does, so it's a good teammate.
Yep, that's one thing you can rely on is the dojo to show up, and I believe Wayfoul is going to be able to help lead this team to victory. Like you said, Icy and Kawhi, you know, taking a little bit of a break from the game. We can see that a little bit in the meta selection here, but that's the thing about Pugs, right? There's no stakes in this. This is just to have fun and continue playing, and you're right. They have been holding their own. They were getting some nice shots out of there. Just an unfortunate, like I said, up against the triple medium comp as well with triple heal beam. It's a tough one, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. The triple heal beam is really tough because you have to be shooting together. You have to be having those shots all as a team. Otherwise, they're just going to keep healing each other, and they have a ton of sustain. It looks like Kawhi was trying to go for a steal, didn't end up capitalizing on it. Trying to get some good picks onto Wayfoul here. Ebby not really able to get a lot of damage, and really just kind of holding out from the Boundless here. Livewire's trying to go for a steal, and it looks like something's starting to happen. Are they able to get it? They hold it. No one's able to interrupt it. And it looks like they did somehow.
No, they've interrupted it. I think Livewire's just got too nervous and jumped off
Hold
the box
on.
multiple
Wayfoul
times.
popping off, though.
Wayfoul's starting to pop off. Greaven down in critical HP. If Wayfoul can close the gap here and land a swipe, it could be it. But we do see the heal beam out of Mango going on to Greaven now. Ebby not finding a res just yet out of the defib, but there it goes out of Mango just now. Wayfoul charging in. Does take the gateway. Gonna go ahead and try to keep fighting this and kite around that as much as possible, but does finally go down to Greaven.
Yeah, that was unfortunate to see. I mean, the Livewires were really so close to actually getting something out of that fight. The steal was there. They just had to hold out, really. I think they were going to be able to keep the steal going. Now it's dropped pretty low, and they are in a position because the Boundless are kind of staying pretty far away from the box. Depending on where they spawn, Sam, they could come in. They do have winch. They could winch it into an angle, but I don't think there's enough time to make that happen.
Right, absolutely, Cody. And yeah, the Livewires, you know, one of the things they could have done there during that steal that probably would have won them that box is just continue to hold it. Now, obviously, they may not realize that the Boundless are on triple heal beam. They actually had no way to get to that cash out. It was actually relatively free, but I think, you know, they got a little nervous. They started hearing some shots and some pressure. Fire barrels were ringing out, things like that, and ultimately caused them to back off the box there. But that's okay. That's something that you learn in the game. Ebby finding one onto Kawhi there, though. 2v3 situation here as we are rotating over to vault number 2, where everybody started rotating to hotel and the vault spawned right behind him, Cody.
Yep, it does happen way too often in this game. I feel like I go run for a position and then I realize the box wants to spawn behind me. But taking a look at the leaderboard, we see Ebby with 5 eliminations doing an absolute insane amount of damage and work towards the Livewires. And the Livewires are kind of struggling to find any sort of, you know, pace, I think, any sort of flow. But that's okay because they are a little bit newer towards the game. I do see they get a lot of damage. I think they just need to start shooting together, playing together, and maybe make a little bit of loadout changes. And I think they could be good as gold.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Cody. And, you know, in final round, the rule set that we are playing, there are no loadout changes, unfortunately, so they are kind of married to what they brought in. But again, Pugs, this isn't a tournament. You have plenty of time. You can run as many games as you want throughout the evening, and these are always active, actually, in our Discord. If you ever want to spin up Pugs yourself, you don't have to wait for us on Tuesday nights or anything like that. Just hop in the queue, ping the LFG chat, and get going. You know, you can run them whenever you want. So this is great practice. Like I said, that's what we're here for. You know, you and I are here for practice on the comms. good for the observers as well. Griefton finding some practice there on Kawhi with that AK. Does get a pick there. Icy down to half health as well as Griefton goes ahead and hits the reload while repositioning up top here. Shots ringing out now onto Icy. 1 HP in critical condition. Wayfowl needing to find the H+ there. Does not. Griefton getting the pick onto Icy, and that leaves Wayfowl last alive for the live wires.
Yeah, not a great spot to be. It seems like Wayfowl seems to find himself in this position a little too often, and I know how it feels sometimes, but he's already getting some great damage. Down goes Griefton, getting the H+ onto Icy to help him get back into the fight, and now the Boundless are down 1. It is a 2v3. They have the health, they have the numbers. If they can just make the approach and get onto the box, they could be in a very good spot here, Sam.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I wanted the live wires to actually collapse on that a little bit there. You know, it was a 2v2 situation. You've got Wayfowl with tons of mobility. We've seen him kind of slip and slide and be able to evade a lot of shots here like that, down to 3 HP, somehow escaping with his life there. But, you know, they could have collapsed onto that while it was a 2v2 fight and maybe close that thing out and regain position, or at least push construction here to get a little bit of a height advantage on them, because unfortunately, Crane, as we all know, is one of the power positions in this game, and it is a tough one to retake. Now, that being said, we do see Griefton starting to climb up there as well. I was about to say, I don't think anybody's up there just yet. And there's the red balloon right over that. That, if spotted by the live wires, could result in a pick, or at least taking out the Crane and getting Griefton off of this power position. I'm not sure live wires have picked up just yet that he's up here. He's starting to land some shots. They don't seem to be connecting. I feel like once that happens, live wires will look up that direction and hopefully return some fire.
Yeah, absolutely. Ebby already getting a ton of damage, but incredibly low himself. If someone's able to try to get that back, but no, the heal beam comes in, gets him up to full, another reset. Quiet trying to go for the deep hit, able to get it off, but unfortunately she dies herself. Icy and Wayfowl holding it up against the Boundless, not in a great spot here, not really a lot of heals. Wayfowl able to find the H+, Icy throwing down the dome shield to kind of protect for some of the damage, but it looks like it's not too much. In comes Wayfowl though, takes down Mango. Ebby incredibly low. They could be a good spot here, but so is Wayfowl, so is Icy. This is not a great position to be in because they have to go for a seal, Sam. There's probably maybe 10, 15 seconds. I hear the crowd. They're starting to count. They need to try to go for a steal, and I don't think there's enough time. It's a 3v2. They have the means to do it. They just got to go for it. Hold D on the box, please. Unfortunately, it was not enough. Go for it.
I was going to say, Wayfowl finding a pick right there. Yeah, unfortunately, not enough urgency over to that cash out. It is going to go in the wave of the Boundless. Icy, I think, had Winchclaw off of cooldown there, but like you said, you know, it's been a little bit. They're your friend. Been a little bit since they played, so, you know, it's okay. We're shaking the rust off.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, really shaking off the rust. There is quite a lot. They have not played too much. I was just telling Icy about the bow buff. He is a bow guy. He literally is an archery club. He runs a club at his college. So I'm like, dude, you got to get on the bow, man. You just it's your thing right now. And I haven't seen him on it. Yeah, it's a big problem.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, another one in the books, 2 down. We got plenty more to go. I already see people in the queue, Cody. So let's go ahead and see if we can get another one spun up here and get some people into the lobby.
Yeah, absolutely. Very excited. Hoping to see some other people. I see a lot of people in the queue, like you said, and I'm just excited to watch them all play. I see Rock Squibbler. Shout out Rock Squibbler. And I do see Ancient Penguin as well. All great names that I do see around the Discord. It's starting to feel a little lively in here, Sam.
Yeah. It is starting to pick up. I'm actually trying to keep track right now to see who is in what match. I do see, I think, one match currently underway. It does look like that's still the case.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we can just kind of hang out. We can, you know, kind of enjoy the moment. You know, I think we're just here to hang out. That's what Pugs is all about. You know, we're just kind of sitting here watching some games, hanging out with the community. You know, the people that we talk to all the time. And I just want to kind of take this moment that if you are someone that is interested in, say, observing, or you're interested in casting or any sort of production, anything at all, this is the place to kind of learn the ropes or just try some things, you know? I kind of like to think of it, if you're familiar with like comedy clubs, people, you know, a bunch of comedians will go to a comedy club to just try stuff out. This is what it's here for. We're just here to have a good time. We've already had a couple people hit us up to cast, and we will definitely reach out very soon, and you can come and hang out with us because that is what it's for.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, I'm doing a little bit of admin here in the Discord, so if I seem a little bit distracted, it's Because I am. I'm keeping the bot going. I did just close out that match. We've got 4 out of 6 in the queue as one just ended, and I'm seeing a lot of people in the waiting room. So I think we're going to have another match on our hands here in just a moment, Cody. But while we wait for that to get going, what are you excited for in 2026 with finals?
I am just excited for more of the finals. I'm excited for more tournaments. I'm excited for more PHL. I'm excited for more videos that we're going to make and all the good stuff that comes with that. I'm just excited to be here, and I'm excited for what's to come, right? We have season 10 coming. I know they're going to be dropping old gen, which is going to be pretty exciting. Hopefully we see some, new generation upgrades coming with that. And that's really soon. It's not as far as everyone thinks. Season 9 really wasn't that long ago, but already it's been quite some time. It's kind of crazy to think.
Yeah, no, you're totally right. You did mention like the phasing out of old gen, PS4 losing support in the season 10. We're in season 9 right now. If those of you are watching the stream and kind of thinking about coming back to the game, now's a great time. New map, Point Break is in the game, which is essentially like Battlefield Rush. We hosted a tournament on that in January, and I'm most excited just to host more events. We've got PUGs hopefully going consistently, depending on obviously interest and things like that. Round the Arena every Thursday here live on the channel. Rio's joining us on that as well, starting this week. So we're going to be. I'm
willing to say too, we're going to be doing a interview with Craze. It's going to be about a 10 to 15 minute interviews. If you're not familiar with Craze is actually I'm not familiar with their position is, but they are very important in the breakout space. They are usually from what I know, the one that's kind of like running it all. So yeah, that's going to be quite exciting. I have a lot of great questions to ask, them, because breakout was gone for a while and they're back. And I mean, it kind of reminds me a lot of like Summit almost, Sam. And I'm always been a big fan of Beyond the Summit. Rest in peace. But yeah, it's very cool.
No, you're right. And, speaking of Beyond the Summit, we'll give a little idea of something that we're potentially working on. It depends on what's going on. But assuming there's closed quals this year for TGM 26, we're deciding that we're going to have a little bit of a Beyond the Summit style watch party here. Here meaning my place. Hopefully, if all goes according to plan and things don't change, we being Cody, myself, and Young, all watch partying live from the living room, high production as we do here at TFC. It's going to be an awesome time. I'm already excited and planning it out. And we don't even know when if there's close calls for 2026, let alone when they will be. But that's something I'm looking forward to personally. I think it's going to be cool to have the boys out here kicking back, watching a bunch of competitive finals, things that we love.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just excited to just keep doing it, man, honestly. I'm just incredibly excited. Waiting for a couple more people to get into the lobby, though. I already see it looks like we're playing on Las Vegas, which is exciting. We are playing on Las Vegas Stadium. Funny that these are considered 2 different maps, because they really are that different.
Yep. Yeah, Las Vegas Stadium. They were both. Listen, I had to add the maps myself earlier today because I wasn't sure what was in there. And by the way, NeatQ, I doubt any of you are watching the stream, but if you are and you're a developer for NeatQ, can you please add a list maps command? That's all I ask. I had to go through and remove them all because I had no idea what maps I had onboarded forever ago and what variants and things like that. So today I added everything. They're just standard issue for everything except for Seoul. It is in the pool, but it's under construction. So, at least you have the triangle pads to play with, which I think is actually not that bad, in my opinion. I think it is slightly fun. There's a lot of better maps, a lot of better opportunities, but so under construction 3s could be a decent time nonetheless. So, yeah, it does look like we're waiting for 2 more to get into the lobby. Somebody said they'll just 1v3. That's crazy work. Grieved it, going crazy. Let's take a look at chat real quick.
He said, let's get it. I'm ready.
What's up, Murph? Thank you for the follow, by the way. Should have followed all 3. My bad, King. It's okay. The multi-streams are back up and running. We're kind of everywhere all at once. So, thank you for dropping all those follows and being a supporter like always. Ebby, I'm learning as I go. Mr. Murph, indeed. Ebby, we are too. So it's okay. That's what I'm saying. This stream, this is why we're going to take a couple weeks. Let us get used to running the show, and then we're going to start adding people. So if you want to learn how to cast, you want to take a shot at observing, or you just want to hang out and try to do it alongside one of us, hit us up, open a ticket in the server. This is your place to do it. It's meant to be very low stakes. You make mistakes, that's okay. Cody and I are here trying new things ourselves this evening with casting styles, trying to work on things that we, watch VODs back, things like that. So that's what this is here for. It's just a proving ground for you to either get better at casting, get better at observing, or get better at playing in scrims that really are low stakes. You have no RS on the line. So you want to pull out the dual blades and the pad, double movement, and see what happens? I mean, hey, go for it. Hey, you got nothing to lose. There's no money on the line, no prizing. Maybe slightly pride if you want to start that up with the fellow people in the server, but overall, we're just here for a good time on a Tuesday evening. So without further ado, though, it does look like we finally have everybody in the lobby. Enough stalling, Cody.
I know, I'm sorry. I just love stalling. I'm sorry.
So the question is, if we're jumping into Las Vegas, what numbers you gambling on the roulette table that they got over there?
As beaten to death. I've heard around, by the way, so everybody, when you say this, know you're now unk and cringe, okay? I would bet on 6 and 7, okay? It's actually 6 is one of my favorite numbers, okay? And you got to do the one above and you got to do one below, which is why I'm doing also 5. 5, 6, 7, counting it up. Then you got to go all the way to the right. You got to do some birthdays, maybe. I don't know. I'm going to ask everyone their birthdays. And that's probably
that's what we did in Vegas, right? Like, we hit 7 on bubble craps and jumped off, and I said, hang on, I'm gonna spin this back up. And I asked everybody that was standing next to us their birthdays, and we banged it on the first spin. And 30x. There we go.
You do 15 numbers, and
right, exactly. All right, enough yapping. We're spending enough time stalling. Jumping in now into Las Vegas on the side of the Boundless. We're seeing some names again. Baby Metal Fan and Ebby. We just watched Ebby in the last series. He popped off with the F car, and we see him on Heavy, though. Charge and Slam this time. Agent Penguin, a new name here in the Pugs tonight. Going to be on the light with Evasive Dash. And over on the side of Livewires, we're seeing again Grieveden, who was just playing in the match prior to this. Tech Ninja as well was in here earlier. And then finally Rox Clips, otherwise known as Rock Squibbler in the Discord, but Rox Clips over on YouTube. Does a lot of YouTube shorts and things like that. Definitely check them out. Baby Metal, though, finding an early pick onto Tech Ninja. 3v1 situation. No, Rock Clips actually does have 1 HP. I thought they were dead. Grieveden, though, going down to Agent Penguin. Rock's the last one remaining. He is pretty insane on the sniper. I've played with him here and there. He's kind of nuts, but he is on EU ping. That's something that we probably should point out. And Agent Penguin does find the kill on Rocks.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like I'm seeing a lot of explosions somewhere. There it is. Yep, it's the MGL. I was wondering, I'm like, where's all these explosions come from? I switch over to Baby Metal. I'm like, that's the Shaq 50. That doesn't explain it. Ebby makes sense with the Charge and Slam and the MGL. I can't say I hate you for it, but I am looking at you a little sideways.
Yeah, absolutely, Cody. So jumping back on Baby Metal now, I'm going to keep an eye out for all those explosions because I guess I was too locked in, didn't notice. But yeah, MGL Explosive Mine and RPG is certainly a combo, especially when you're on the rooftop here where we are finding good damage. Agent Penguin cleaning up 2 there on the Grieveden and Tech Ninja. Last remaining is Rox Clips again with that sniper that can be lethal against Agent Penguin. But Ebby finding the kill onto the light with the MGL, Cody.
Yeah, that MGL, normally I wouldn't say you got to worry about it too much, but when you're on Las Vegas, there's a lot of tight corners, a lot of walls, a lot of ceilings, a lot of floors. There's just a lot of stuff to bank the MGL off of, so it's a little scary, especially when you're on light. Not too pretty of a situation to be in, and the Boundless have now plugged the box. They're hanging out. They're setting up what looks to be maybe some util. Nope, they're kissing the wall, I guess, or I don't know what I'm hearing. Is that a duck? I don't know. I'm not too sure what I'm hearing, Sam, but they are doing something to the box, and I don't know if I want to be there to see it. And now the live wires have spawned in. They are approaching the box. They're looking to have some sort of angle maybe onto the Boundless. Boundless are in a good spot, though. They're in kind of this weird scaffolding area, and they have the sonar to kind of get a hold of the live wires. They break open a hole in the ceiling, trying to get some sort of angle, and it looks like Rox is able to get a peek onto Agent Penguin and hitting the headshot almost immediately. By the way, on EU ping, getting another shot onto Ebby, doing some great damage here, but Ebby is taking a lot of damage, and that MGL, I think, is doing some damage to himself. Not a great position to be in. It looks like Rox finds a good angle here, doesn't see Ebby behind him, decides to do something else instead, throws the gateway for a quick get out if need be. And it is a 2v2 and an interesting situation because it is a light and a medium versus 2 heavies. And that one heavy has a grenade launcher. very close to his chest.
I was gonna say, Cody, while we wait for the fight to kick back, never mind, we're already back into it. Rock's finding a shot there, I believe, onto Baby Metal. But one of the things I saw earlier today, I was actually watching Hyperborean's new video, and if you didn't notice, he did a finals, awards show kind of similar to Ape Squad, except it was obviously very memey. If you've ever watched Hyperborean, nice charges landing around Eddie, but it doesn't look like it connects. But the kill does come in out of Agent Penguin on the Grieved, Rox getting the trade out on the Baby Metal. Evie down in critical health, and Rox be the last remaining. He has fallen victim to this MGL before, will not this time. Agent Penguin picking up Tech Ninja there as Evie takes out himself with that MGL, but finally Agent Penguin taking down Rox Clips.
Yeah, just a great set of battles. I mean, even though, they weren't able to keep the box or get it much at all, the live wires honestly were quite alive. I'll be honest. Rox with the sniper got some really great shots. And like I said, being on EU ping, it's not an easy thing to hit. Tech Ninja doing really well. Running double medium, by the way. I don't know if we've talked about that yet. Definitely not something you hear people talking about, but maybe it will work.
Yeah, and what I was saying earlier, right, before that fight just exploded, shockingly, with the MGL combo that we're seeing already. Hyperborean, right? MGL 32 voted worst weapon in the finals by the finals community. Everybody asking for a nerf, apparently, since Season 2, his words, not mine, and I'd say go watch Ebby. Apparently, that's just not the case. Apparently, Ebby is making the thing work. So, jumping back on board with Rox now, did land a shot earlier onto Ebby, but he's going to back out and go ahead and get that region. Agent Penguin down in critical health, though, but I think trying to chase down Rox here at Gateway puts him in the elevator. I think Penguin spotted him there, but is going to decide not to chase. A little nervous, I think, of that sniper rifle. Obviously, very lethal, especially against lights, but does finally find the flank angle. Rox taking his Gateway to back out once again. Agent Penguin spotted him just slightly here, I think, but maybe not, actually. I think he did see him on the roof there, but we're going to jump on board with Tech Ninja now, back on this F car. We saw them beaming on map 1 earlier today. Shots coming out of Agent Penguin onto Grieved, and now the Rox down to 1 HP as well as Tech tries to get the defib onto Grieved. Agent Penguin now going to see if he can go ahead and clean this up.
Yeah, absolutely. Jumping in with Agent Penguin, already getting a pretty decent angle onto the live wires, but it doesn't look to be enough. It's very scary because you can take damage very quickly, and as a dash light, it doesn't take a lot, especially when you're running the repeater. Agent trying to just get out, try to reset with the team. The box has still not even been plugged yet, which is super interesting. It looks like everybody from both sides is back up. The boundless is a bit kind of split up. The live wires honestly in a good position. Taking the pad that looks to be height, which is honestly the best choice they could make. The question is, who's going to grab vault and who's going to move it? Because I think the time is now. Both teams are now split up. Not really much of a angle to fight, but it looks like Baby Metal is starting to get some sort of damage. Yeah, the building is falling apart, Sam. This is definitely interesting. I really want someone to just take the vault and move because I don't think anyone will notice, and I think Agent Penguin is doing exactly that. That is the play to do because the live wires are just going to be looking around, wondering what happened, and Agent will be plugging the box.
Yeah, and on the side, by the way, I'm being DM'd asking if we can run cash out pugs. And so I've essentially said, you know what, if you can get 12 yeses for that and you join the queue, there are cash out pugs actually already queues existing in our server. Yep. So if they can fill that out, we might be hopping over to cash out, Cody.
Yeah, I am absolutely down with that. Jumping in with Ebby, though, hitting the RPG onto Grieved, and this is a really great spot because the live wires did not notice anything at all, but Ebby having that really long reload, able to get a C4 kill from where? Gets the MGL damage, but it's not enough. Down goes Ebby by the hands of Tech Ninja with the F car, but wow, what a great fight nonetheless. Tech Ninja in a really bad spot here, trying to just stay alive. Agent Penguin decides, you know what, it's okay, I'll just wipe, but Rox decided to do something else. Maybe there was a lack of communication on the side of that team, because Rox is still alive.
Well, Rox with that sniper rifle as well as Cloak, he's going to be able to actually kite around and kind of keep space where I don't actually hate this coin out of it. I think it actually could work out in their favor. They've got a lot of escape opportunities. Something you normally see on sniper, I feel like, is grapple, though, not dash. It would allow for a little more kiting opportunity here because you don't really need to worry about tracking, obviously, with the sniper, right? You just worry about flicks and things like that instead. So it's a bit of a different playstyle, which is why I feel like grapple
I have to
could
disagree
work.
with you, Sam. I feel like grapple on Las Vegas is really hard to pull off, right? Because you're stuck inside so many times. I think dash is going to give you a little bit more usefulness in almost every situation. Grapple, you're going to be kind of in a tough spot on a lot of the boxes.
Yeah, that is a fair point. Las Vegas, obviously, you can be forced inside like we see Boundless right now. They're all positioned down there on quite the bunker. Meanwhile, the Livewires holding the high ground here, but time is dwindling down, Cody. Livewire's got to make a move here. Tech Ninja finding one onto Ebby. That's the MGL out of the picture, at least for right now. No defib on this team, by the way. Agent Penguin going down as well. This is a steal opportunity that could be perfect if Greedon can find it.
No one's breaking him.
Baymel's raining in a ton of shots there. It's the perfect pick on the Greedon as the Boundless get wiped and ultimately do win the map, though, Cody.
Yeah, I mean, really a great set of plays, and I feel like we could have seen that go to box 3, but the team was just not playing as together as they probably should have. There was a great steal. It was just baby metal, and with that double heavy, there's a lot of util on the box. You got to be careful. I think they had a glitch grenade. I'm not too sure if Rox was running one, but that would have been the time to use it. Agent Penguin, though, looking at the leaderboard, 9 eliminations with 2 deaths. Absolutely just fragging out that entire lobby. Looking at the rest of the leaderboard, we had Baby Metal with 3 eliminations and almost 3k damage. Ebby with 5 and 4k damage. And even on the Livewire side, right, even though they weren't able to get a vault or any sort of, really points on the board here, they did have a lot of eliminations, a lot of damage. It seems like the medium was really, or Greedon, sorry, there was 2 mediums, but Greedon was really kind of struggling to find any sort of flow there, which kind of makes sense, right? That double heavy's really tough. You say it all the time as the medium, not a good matchup.
Yeah, especially if you're on the AK like Greedon was there, I think it is hard to punch through those shields. I didn't see really too many glitch grenades that provided a lot of opportunity, and the AKM just, I feel like doesn't have the DPS to really punch through where value is going to be needed, especially on the double light, I believe, or no, double heavy, sorry. I guess that is no H plus or, double heal beam in the picture, so maybe it could work there, but overall, just a tough situation nonetheless. So,
yeah, absolutely.
Go ahead, Cody. I think we're going to throw it to a quick break right here real fast as we see if we're going to be loading up cash out. I'm seeing both queues kind of popping off right now. So we'll be back in just a moment to let you know what we'll be queuing into next. Welcome back, everybody, to the TFC Tuesday Pug Nights. I'm Sam, that's Cody from the Finals Central, and we are just running some casual games in our Discord where the community basically joins into a queue. They get matched pretty much onto a random team. They do have the option of snake drafting and things like that, but overall, pretty random team, low stakes, and just get to have some fun. It's a great night with some pretty low stakes. You can take it as serious as you want or not, you know, whatever. Like we said earlier, if you're interested in casting or observing, this is an opportunity for you. It's something that we are going to be spinning up here in the next probably 2 weeks. We'll open it up to people outside of Cody and I once we have the show, you know, ironed out and we know how things are flowing. We will open this up and give you the opportunity to work on your casting or observing skills. It's totally up to you. And so if that interests you at all, make sure you're in our Discord, exclamation point Discord in chat. And then submit a ticket to us, and we will basically add you to a list. We've already got a couple people that said they were interested, and we would love to open that up for anybody, no matter your skill level at all. Again, this is a place for testing, so Cody and I trying out new things as well. So if we're flubbing, have some different things going on than what we normally do, you know, bear with us. We're also practicing over here. So anyways, Cody, we have a match on our hands. It's another final round, but I have heard that we might be jumping into cash out right after this, but we're loading on to Sunny Bernal.
It's going to be fun. Yeah. I'm very excited, but I'm also really excited to see this match going, like you said, into Bernal. Sunny, apparently around 2 p.m. I didn't know we had a time on that.
Wait, hold on.
I didn't know. Apparently it's 2 p.m. though. Not too sure what time zone that is, but on the side of the Boundless, it is B-Murph, Agent Penguin, and Mango, and the live wires, Navy Street, Ebby TV, and Mighty G. Already we're seeing, I think, double heavy light from the side of, no, I was wrong. So, you know, I will say sometimes those mediums look a little heavy.
They do.
Okay?
No, you're totally right.
They do.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I've been saying that.
Yeah, they do. I make that mistake a lot, and we'll wind up picking the wrong comp and then getting burned on it later. But yeah, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's an outfit thing or not. But jumping on board with B-Murph, very capable player. You know, very excited to see him. I know he just joined the server, was in our chat just a moment ago, so I'm excited to see him jump on board. Obviously participates in Ape Squad Pug events, which if you guys like pugs and you want more opportunities, those happen on Sunday nights over in the Ape Squad server, discord.gg/ApeSquad.
We're trying to commandeer the whole week. That's what we're trying to do. Every week there's going to be pug, or every day, sorry.
Yeah, there's pretty much finals action pretty much every day. Yeah, Vanguard having a power shift tournament coming up soon. I think on the 31st, right, Cody, on a Saturday. So
yeah,
plenty
something
of finals
like that.
to get into.
Yeah, but jumping in with Agent Penguin, already getting a lot of damage. Down goes the live wires, and almost the small moment we were talking, Sam, B-Murph going to move the box. Looks like Agent Penguin's going to pick it up instead, and they're moving over to B. B is always a very fun box to play around because, you know, I don't know. I'm just a big fan of it. I feel there's a lot of, you know, options you can do. You can winch it out into the courtyard. You can kind of maybe set up a pad. You can try to get it over to the alley if you're really confident with the winch. But already the live wires are now spawning in and looking to make an approach, and we're seeing the CL40 with a zip line, which is certainly a choice, Sam. And already Ebby is going right into it, hits the jump pad, trying to get an angle on Agent Penguin, getting a ton of damage out to B-Murph, incredibly low, but down goes Ebby. B-Murph still really low, the H+ coming out. Navy Street trying to push up with the mesh, trying to take some space, getting the heal beam out, and Mighty G is taking a ton of damage, trying to keep that heavy in the field, and B-Murph is coming in, hits the RPG, gets a ton of damage, down goes Navy Street by the hands of Mango with the revolver, and it is now just Ebby holding it out for the live wires with an incredible angle, able to get a pick on Agent, able to get a pick on Mango, and it's just B-Murph, and the turret takes him out!
Rocket it, turret!
The hidden fourth teammate! What are we watching? Oh my gosh!
Oh
the turret took out
I wasn't sure if it was going to be the gas, the CL40, or Terry, bro. That was insane. I was praying that was going to work out for him.
The live wires don't even have control of the box. So the Boundless kind of took all of the benefit from this. But hold on, the live wires are spawning a little bit closer than the Boundless. This is now a race to the box, and that double movement that Ebby is running is exactly what he needs. But he falls down. Someone needs to try to steal. Navy Street throws out the dome. A ton of damage is going out onto B-Murph, onto Ebby. Sam, take it from here.
Yeah, it is an absolute mad dash for this cash out. As we know, there's not much time remaining here. Agent Penguin taking a ton of damage, though, and have to wait for the region. That kind of takes him out of the fight. Steel Attempt started to come in out of the live wires there, but Merv picking up Ebby. I'm not sure if that's who was going for the steal, but it does look like gas is deployed as well. I know Ebby's running that gas mine with the CL40. It's a good combo, but on attack, it can really put you in a bad position, as we think we just saw. Jumping on board Navy Street, though, now landing some shots onto Mango. Needs to find picks here as fast as possible because there's not any time left on this cash out. Now this fight is just to see who can get map positioning after this cash out. Currently 2v2 situation. Boundless, though, a little bit more health among them, but Mighty G with that heal beam onto Navy Street, Cody.
Yeah, absolutely. Navy Street trying to go for the res. The turret there might try to get a pick themselves. The live wire is already looking good. Fully reset. It is a 3v2. The Boundless, I think, opting to wait for... No, never mind. They went for the defib by Mango, and that is the moves. The thing is the Boundless have a pretty good position here. Ebby as well with the turret and the CL40 putting out a ton of damage onto Beamer, having to use the heal beam and the H+ just to get him up to full. But the problem is Ebby is really, really far from his team, and it looks like the Boundless are looking to take advantage of that, trying to get some sort of gate, and not too sure what happened. It looks like it got thrown in the air. They opt for the pad instead, and Ebby's already moved around, and the live wires have come to support. Ton of damage coming out. Down goes Mighty G by the hands of B-Murph with the shack, and the Boundless are looking great. The live wires do not have a ton of health to play around here, and they're already down one, but the vault hasn't even been touched yet. So I guess we always say it, and I'll say it again, Sam. This match and this fight are not done yet, and it hasn't even really started because the fight doesn't matter.
Yeah, you're right, Cody. And honestly, nice movement there out of the live wires to reposition there on top of Propane. That's a very strong power position on this map. And so is this little tower here on top of 10. Overall, I would say Livewire's positioning have been fantastic, especially with Ebby here on the double movement on the medium with that CL40. Positioning is going to be key because if he gets collapsed on, he might actually take himself out with that self-splash damage. But people like Agent Penguin on the light, for example, need to be careful about closing that gap, right? Because they can just be deleted off the map well before Ebby takes himself out.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, funny enough, as much as you want to write home about, you know, the Guardian turret, it does actually do a bit of damage, especially when you're on light. And it's something you do got to actually keep in mind. But Navy Street already taking a ton of damage. Ebby looks to be setting down the jump pad, trying to get an angle. It's kind of funny because Ebby's kind of treating himself as the RPG heavy. And the Boundless is coming in, throwing down an explosive mine or a gas mine. That looks to be that's the case. And a ton of damage is still coming out from both angles. Down goes Ebby by the hands of B-Murph. And it is a 3v2 Boundless versus the live wires, and the Boundless are in a great spot, looking to get a ton of damage onto Mighty G by the hands of B-Murph again, and already Navy Street is trying to take it back home. The goo comes down to try to stall B-Murph out, trying to regen, getting a ton of damage back onto Navy Street, but it's not. Oh, hold on. Gets the pick onto Navy Street, and the live wires go down. Yeah, just like that.
Nice plays out of B-Murph there with that mesh shield. You know, he controlled tempo. I've said it before in other broadcasts that heavies kind of like taunt people in a way. It seems like people get hyper fixated obviously on the big hitbox, especially when you put a shield right in their face. And that seemed to be kind of what happened there, right? B-Murph threw up his mesh shield. Navy Street's just trying to ring into it and break it with those deagles. However, Agent Penguin was able to sneak behind and then shoot Navy Street right in the back before he could ever put his mesh shield back up, Cody.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Boundless are already going for a good spot here, using that platform to kind of get the cash box nice and high up, which will be incredibly hard for the live wires to get any sort of angle on because they are running the CL40 and the heavy with the RPG. It's going to be tough to get that angle, to get that height. Bernal is incredibly flat, so even when you have a little bit of verticality, it goes a long way. And already we're starting to see it. The live wire is trying to get any sort of height that they can get, trying to get some damage out. Mango's taking a little bit, but it's not really capitalizing in a whole lot. The live wire is opting to just kind of pick out, just kind of, you know, chill with the fight here and kind of take their time to get some sort of play. They do have a lot of bursts, so something might come to fruition. The M11, though, from long range, Sam, not too sure if that's the plan. The zip is coming in. Ebby trying to break the distance, already getting some good damage onto Agent Penguin here. Tries to throw the gas onto the box to maybe prevent some sort of steal, but they are lowering the platform, and already this is getting very interesting.
No, you're absolutely right, Cody. And I was thinking the same thing. You know, Agent Penguin doing a good job at getting some chip damage in with that M11. Obviously, pretty far range to be trying to get a kill, but it is going to be some damage coming out, which is, you know, very much the point. But B-Murph, Agent Penguin, and Mango all taking damage here. B-Murph, though, getting the pick onto Ebby, who had that CL40. It looked like he was going to actually maybe get a triple there. Mighty G, though, shooting B-Murph in the back, and somehow the Boundless have rotated out of this, and the heals are coming in onto the B-Murph, flipping the fight around onto Navy Stream. Mighty G, the last one remaining on the live wires. Boundless looking to close this thing out with the pick on a Mighty G, and they're going to take this match, Cody.
Yeah, absolutely. The Boundless just absolutely showing no bounds to how well they can play final round. The live wires, as good as they played, was just not enough, and the Boundless taken home.
Yeah, great match by them. I mean, nice job showing restraint like they did in some of those situations. Beamer
turret kill, Sam. The turret kill.
It was some absolute cinema plays out of this match. You know, that's the fun of Pugs is, you know, you never know what you're going to really see here. But Beamer, again, I felt like just did an excellent job. A massive amount of damage, 7,000, by the way. But just doing an excellent job of controlling the fights with that mesh shield, allowing Agent Penguin to have the space needed to rotate around and get the damage in that was necessary. Cody, what do you think?
I have one thing on my mind outside of the absolute insanity that Ebby and Beamer were bringing to the Pugs today is that we only need one more person in the cash out Pugs waiting room, and then we could run a cash out game.
Yep, absolutely. That's what I was just looking at. And I'm curious to see if somebody joins up. When I joined in the voice channel earlier, it sounded like they had enough people on board. So I'm curious if that winds up being the case. There is 11 out of 12. They just need one single person to jump in there, and then they can run it. So we'll be right back. We're going to wait for another game here, and we'll see what we're hopping into. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to TFC Tuesday Pug Night. I'm Sam, that's Cody from the Final Central, and we've got a switch up on our hands. We've been watching Final Round all night. That's kind of what we thought we'd see, you know? Starting our first Pug Day back, we weren't sure we were going to have that many people interested in playing, and we do. And in fact, we got asked by a lot of people if they could run a cash out. So they have managed to scrounge up 12 players to join the queue. Teams are being decided right now. And overall, yeah, it's going to be, it looks like they've actually voted for captains, which is going to be interesting. I have the feeling, Cody, the Dojo of Foul are trying to run it together. I have the feeling that's why we're seeing a vote for captains here. You know what? Actually, I'll go ahead and pull it up here on the stream so people can see in real time what this looks like, because we've been talking about it. But why don't we just show you?
Yeah, absolutely.
We see Utopian 5 votes, Gary 5 votes as well. So it sounds like they will be different captains. Agent Penguin with 3 currently. And basically,
yeah, we're casting the votes.
Yeah, and essentially what's going to happen is these guys are then, I think, going to do a snake draft, if I'm not mistaken, to select players. Obviously, Gary, he's one of the Dojo at Foul boys. Utopian normally plays with them, so I'm surprised that they're different captains here, but I do know they like to play against each other as well. You can also see the MMR system here in play. Everybody's at 1,000 because we reset the scoreboard today, which while we wait for them to choose their teams, we can actually take a look at the leaderboard here. Let's go ahead and give it a little refresh. We see Mango and Utopian at top currently, 1132 I guess RS, MMR, whatever you want to call it, with the 2-0 currently in tonight's games. Utopian 2-0 as well, just 1 point behind next. 2-0 as well, 1 point behind him, and tied with Agent Penguin, who's also 2-0. It's a great time. This is, you know, again, just for show, we'll wipe these every single Pug night so that we can see who's performed the best. Maybe at some point, multi-bucks could be on the line, but it's going to be a little bit before we do those, I think, Cody.
Who knows? We could maybe make some multi-bucks happen. But already the picks are going back and forth. I don't think too many, though. Nonetheless, it looks like we're waiting on Agent Penguin to make their draft. Nex and Weifao have been picked, though. We don't know onto what team. That is the question to be asked.
Yeah. So Team 1, currently, Gary, Weifao, no surprise there. Team 2, Utopian Nex, also kind of not a surprise. Agent Penguin making their selection now. We're going to wait and see who they pick up. They picked up Jog, a nice pickup. We saw Jog pop off earlier tonight with that repeater. So good one to pick up there.
Always a safe pick. Always a safe pick on the Jog.
Absolutely. Agent Penguin also, you know, on the light. That's a good matchup there. Mango and Elohim, sorry. Good matchup there as well. We do see the snake draft coming in. Mango going to pick up Rock Squibbler. Fine pickup. Rock playing great, very talented light player. I think this is going to be a good squad to watch here. Overall, so far, things looking very balanced. A Dude going on the side of Utopian, and of course, Way Fauster going on the side of Gary. We do have our lobby code ready. Cody, it is guaranteed that we're seeing triple melee out of Dojo Foul. There's absolutely no way we don't. So, what do you think's going to happen?
I think a lot is going to happen. In particular, I think there's going to be a lot of chaos, a lot of melee, a lot of dynamism is the word we like to use around here. I think the Weifao boys are going to be very scary. I want to make sure to put them into their team correctly as Weifao, Weifauster, and Weifaustist. I'm making sure to do that correctly.
I think Dude's going on the side of Utopian there. Also, I do not think there's maps listed in this. So, Cody, what map you want to play?
I'll pick the map.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what map you want? Put it, yeah. Put it on that. Yeah, that's gonna be a good one. Actually, no. Can we do Under Construction? I think if we're gonna watch Under Construction at some point tonight, it has to be this match, right? Surely.
Okay, Under Construction Soul. Okay,
yeah,
that's fine.
Yeah, I think
I don't blame you for it. Okay,
I think
hold on.
It'll be a good time. So yeah, Soul Under Construction is our pick, and it's certainly gonna be interesting. So.
Target. We have gotten it in the chat. Everyone says the target Jog.
All right, we've got ready to check out everybody.
Like we're loading in to one of the favorite maps to watch. Not too sure how much people enjoyed playing it. The Weifao boys used to doing some construction, used to doing some remodeling, so maybe this is their environment, their natural habitat. But going in to Soul Under Construction.
Yeah, this is going to be pretty entertaining. The Dojo Foul are some of my favorites to watch and play. I played with Gary and Utopian the other night, and it is a fever dream. I was on Dual Blades. I've never played it in my life. But I was like, I think I have to. I tried playing Arn on Light. I tried playing FCAR and Repeater, and I was like, it just doesn't work. It does not work in this comp. So
the absolute motion that the Weifao boys are projecting onto our eyes and our screens, though. I mean, the matching Ospus. I can just remember the artwork they got commissioned. Put that on a t-shirt. That's what I want to say.
Yeah, that was very sick. And yeah, this is going to be awesome. I'm going to take a quick last sip of this Celsius I'm drinking because, Ospus costs like $15 in the US. Because cash out, I don't think I've casted a cash out in probably a year. Well, not a year, but like 6 months probably at least. So this is going to be a whole new adventure for us, Cody.
Yeah, it'll be A-okay. Already the Boundless, the Weifao boys moving out onto the hospital, and the Live Wires are opting to take height against the Boundless, which is not a great place to be in if you're melee, right? Because you're going to just drop into the hell that they are causing. It is definitely interesting. Dude already kind of in the thick of it, as everybody knows, and Weifao are starting to spin up the blender that is the melee movement.
Yeah. I will say Baby Metal and Utopian both familiar with the Dojo Foul, so I think they're going to be able to provide some good comms. But Subdued probably getting a little ambitious and not really sure what to expect. And you know, as soon as he drops in there and gets double winched by the two sledge players, I think you'll learn really quick that you're going to need to keep your space from them, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. And we're seeing the smoke grenade come out, which doesn't make it any better to go up against. But Utopian, Baby Metal, and Subdued are already starting to make it happen. Looks like they have a C4 going out. Utopian opting to go for what looks to be the Cerberus, which is definitely an interesting approach. The way Foul Boy is starting to move around up and behind the live wires. The question is, do they notice it? Not too sure. Looks like the lock bolt starts to come out, and the live wires are starting to get some damage onto Wei Fao here. Not too great, but the sword can come back and do a hell of a lot more. And the live wires are already down to their last one. Utopian trying to just run away, maybe get some sort of approach, maybe look for a defib of sorts, but it's going to be tough to get in there because I already know they're probably holding it. Maybe not. The glitch comes out. Utopian not really in a great spot because there's 15 seconds left for the coins, and you really don't want a coin on first box. A lot of people say it. It's kind of a known thing. You either wipe or GG's go next. I'm not too sure. And we're already getting some damage. And the winch comes out from Timbuktu. Utopian gets hit by the sledge, and down goes the live wires. They are out of this world, Sam.
Oh, the signature bye-bye beam up out of the Dojo of Foul Boys as they wipe Utopian. Yeah, interesting to see the Cerberus in their hands, but we're going to jump over to the other side of the map near here, or really back in the center, as the Big Splash do go down to the Kingfish. They've already been wiped, I think, once, if I'm not mistaken. So the Kingfish doing a great job of controlling this cash out, Cody.
Yeah, absolutely. It seems like the Kingfish kind of have this in control and in the means to continue it going. And the Boundless, not really a great reason to push that team at this point because there isn't really a ton of time. And Hospital, while you don't have guns shooting at you, you do have to worry about what's on the other side now. It's not about getting across, it's about worrying what's on the other side. And the live wires have shown that because they are going to go fight the Kingfish. And already the fight is starting to go out. A ton of damage going on to Rox Clips, onto Greedon. Down goes Greedon by the hands of Utopian with the Cerberus, and a ton of damage is coming out as well. And the Kingfish are gone before you know it. And the Boundless see that, and they want to get a piece of it. Already the steal is coming out from the live wires, and it looks like they're able to get it. There's no interruption, and they are able to get it, but is it worth it? Because the live wires are already down, and Wei Fao are going for it as well. The question is, can the Big Splash interrupt it? I'm not too sure. Down goes Wei Fastest. It's just Wei Fauster and Wei Fao, and the sword is trying to make something work, and the Boundless are gone, and it's just a Big Splash. Do they get a free steal, Sam?
I'm not sure, Cody, because the Kingfish are back up. But one thing I want to point out while this steal attempt does come through here, it does look like it's going to be successful on the side of Big Splash, is Baby Metal Fan actually finding a kill onto Mango by dropping him off the map from the crane earlier when they brought that down. Pretty cinema moment. Also, big, kind of update on this map, right? Like, that is probably the strongest power position, not including Hospital. But Hospital is on the outskirts of town. So, you know, if you don't have a cash out or a vault over there, it kind of isn't as strong of a power position, but that crane in center map, definitely the place to be. I mean, you want to control that. Every single vault rotation, there is one cash out in the center of the map there, so not surprising at all that they decided to take that down. Very heads up play out of them. But Utopian finding a kill onto Agent Penguin there with the Cerberus, jumping on board now with a Subdued, but does get picked up by Tech Ninja. Baby Metal getting the trade out onto Tech Ninja as well. Big Splash, 2 alive. The defib does come out of Utopian onto a Subdued. 3v2 situation as Baby Metal trying to find a pick onto Agent Penguin there, is not going to actually connect. Jog doing a good job of keeping him alive there. Now, live wires are going to go ahead and start to kite around. Does actually spot Agent Penguin again. That is intel actually for the side of the Big Splash. They do have the height advantage here, but I don't think they actually decide to hold it very well. Utopian getting some nice shots with that Cerberus. We saw some struggles with this earlier. Obviously, the map selection not really in the favor of it, but he's going to make it work there as the Subdued actually does get the kill, but the assist out of Utopian there onto Jog. Vault actually being plugged already by neither of these teams, Cody.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. The vaults have been plugged, and there is a lot of time down over on the other point there, right? I mean, it's already halfway on C. Not really too great of a position to be pushing in if you're any other team except the one that's holding it, and it seems like that's the case. Maybe Utopian's making the play call now. You know what? We're going to go to C. No one's there. We know everyone's going to be going over to D, and we're tired of third parties, so maybe they're taking their chance, but it's Subdued unfortunately getting caught by Greedon there, and a gateway to get the team team right up top. Utopian trying to get some sort of res here, maybe getting an angle, throws down the goo to just help it be a little more safe. And already they don't have a ton of time left. The Kingfish in a great spot. Unable to get over there. Hold on, I'm mixing up my keys. You should see what my hands look like right now.
I can imagine. And something I wanted to point out, Cody, is we do have Utopian. You know, we've watched him several times this match already. He is on that Cerberus, and we've talked about it quite a bit because it's a bit of a surprising pick. And this cash out probably being the worst one to have that in your hands. And here we go. Rock's going to dive in here. He's going to try to find the kill, and Utopia does not find it as Asadu takes care of that. Grieved in, trying to push in as well as Asadu gets that one. That's 2 for him. And Mango does go down finally. I'm not sure to who because kill feed is moving so fast as Wayfowl and Agent Penguin are over there trading things out on the other side of the map. We're seeing more fights come in as Jog gets the defib. Jog also getting a pick on the Wayfowl. It's currently a 1v3 situation, but a lot of health gone on the side of the Big Splash. And ultimately, the Boundless do go down. But now we're seeing the Livewire start to rotate over. They're going to try to take this box as well, Cody.
Yeah, it doesn't look like anyone's going to be able to interrupt him because Sadu gets to pick onto Tech Ninja. Utopian comes in with the Cerberus, and Agent Penguin is already low, and the Livewires are just moving with an unprecedented level of aura already going in onto the... Wait, hold on. Are they able to interrupt it, though?
I don't know if they're going to be able to,
Agent Penguin going to be able to get it back? Wait, he interrupts? Why did he stop? The Livewire sitting at $32,000, and there's still 2 minutes left of the match. However, jumping in with Jog, already the Big Splash not in too bad of a position, though, because they are at 16K, which is second place. If they can get a plug here, but hold on, the Lockbolt comes out. Wayfowl do not want anybody to have any sort of fun here because they're coming in with the sledge and putting Jog in the blender. He just gives up.
Yeah, that's kind of what happens when your 2 winches landing right next to you and you're between 2 sledgehammers. There's not really a lot you're going to be able to do to get out of that situation if you're Jog over there on the medium.
With the this is fine and the fire's just burning away.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing to mention as well is, you know, normally for cash out, this is like for qualification or maybe it's like a PHL play day or things like that where you're earning points per match. So like, that's not the case here, right, Cody? Like, this is the only match. This is all that matters. Coming in first is all that matters, actually. If you care about your MMR in our server, you only earn it for finishing first. You actually lose it in every other position. That's not our fault. It's a limitation on the bot, but, you know, hey.
Yeah, that sounds kind of rough.
Yeah, so you do want to finish first here. So one thing that is worth mentioning, the why I'm bringing this up, is a double should be coming in. Right? It should come in out of somebody to help overtake the Livewires here, especially if you're not the Boundless, who are now getting picks on the Jog, also on the Tech Ninja, and finally on the Agent Penguin. A fast wipe there out of the dojo of Foul. Going to continue to hold this box, and we see from our UI in the top left there that they are going to stay in first place. Meanwhile, nobody's plugging this other box, and like I said, there's no reason not to go for first. Second place is last place here, Cody.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're kind of seeing it here as the Livewires are just kind of hanging out over on A, letting everybody else fight it out. But like you said, I wonder if they know that first is the most important. Jumping in with Wayfowl, already in an interesting spot here. They're down 1, trying to get their hand res. And Wayfowls are able to get the right click onto Rock's clip and sending him back to the lobby screen because there's only 50 seconds left. Getting white here does not give you much time to do much of anything. And Orange has control of this box. The Boundless are doing great here. I don't know if anyone's going to stop them, and it looks like the Big Splash got some sort of damage onto him, maybe an RPG, I'm not too sure, but they are just hanging out over here on the Wayfowl boys. They are chilling, keeping hold of the box, and someone is trying to stop them, but I don't think they have the time or the means.
Yeah, one thing I'm seeing as well on the side of the screen is also Livewires and Big Splash look like they're fighting. They're not even over the cash out, and it's like, you know, we've talked about before, meaningless fights. That is one of them, right? There's no reason for them to be fighting. Now the Kingfish are diving in here. If you're going to break this point away from the Dojo of Foul, you are going to need to get them separated. As Wayfaustus does get one onto Dude. We're seeing a ton of kills in the kill feed right now as Mango picks up Agent Penguin. Again, it looks like Kingfish and Big Splash are kind of fighting each other and not fighting the target at hand, which is the Dojo of Foul. And ultimately, they pay the price as Dojo Foul finish first.
Yeah, absolutely a great set of plays from the Wayfowl boys, taking it home with that last box there. Let's move over to the leaderboard. Wayfaustus with a whopping 10 eliminations and 3 deaths at most on the entirety of the team. Just an absolute domination, if you want to call it. I mean, I don't know how many people they put in the blender, but I think they're going to go to bed having nightmares about it.
Yeah, I mean, if you get double winched and double sledged, I would have nightmares about it. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
I would, like, all jokes aside, I'd be really pissed off.
Dojo Foul, I think, known for just getting into games with streamers, not necessarily like stream sniping, but getting into lobbies with them and then just causing them to absolutely crash out. And you can see why, right? 10-3 with the winch sledgehammer. Not much of a surprise. I genuinely think if you're dying to that over and over again, it's impossible not get in the blender. I mean, I'd be sitting here screaming in my seat, that's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think we're going to be going into our next match momentarily. I think the people are deciding what they want. I don't know if anybody wants more cash out after what they just experienced. Maybe they do. It seems a little bit broken here. But regardless, I'm having such a fun time, and I'm excited to be doing these, what looks to be weekly, Sam.
Yeah, we are going to try
every Tuesday.
Yep, we're going to try to host these every Tuesday as long as people are interested. If they want games, we will bring them to you because that's our goal this year is to bring.
Yeah, I tell you what, our
possible.
Egos can't take it. If we start the stream and no one shows up, we're going to be really sad.
That's when we just queue ranks instead and then become more sad, more angry, more upset.
Yeah,
so
don't
for the
make us
sanity
sad,
of our own
please.
selves, you know, you're in control of our destiny.
Don't do it, please.
I am seeing a lot of people in the cash out waiting room. I see 11 out of 12 in the queue, actually. So can we get a third? Let's actually take a look. I'm going to go ahead and bring it up for you guys real quick. And I see Q45. Is this final round or is this cash out? This is cash out. We will be playing another cash out, Cody. And once again, we don't have match programs. So we should really have a wheel for this. You think I can make one in time?
I'm putting them on the Fang way. I'm sorry.
Okay,
I want to see it.
No, you're right. I'm there. I'm there for it.
Okay,
This is
hold
Pugs
on. Let
after
me
all.
put
Let's
everyone on
watch
their
the maps that we
teams.
don't watch. No Sis. No Nozomi. We're not doing that here.
Yep, absolutely. It looks like I'm missing one lucky individual in the lobby. So if you are in the queue, please join with the code. But while we're waiting, Sam, I am just excited to see some cash out on Fangway because I haven't seen much of it at all. We've seen a little bit of it, I think, during Breakout. I might be mistaken. Maybe we saw it in threes and not cash out, but I can't remember. Regardless, though, we've said how we feel about the map almost a million times, but I'll say it again for the people that don't know. I think it's okay. It reminds me a lot of Soul, probably pre-changes. I think it needs a little bit of tweaking because it has me tweaking.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Vault and cash out spawns are honestly the biggest drawback on it for me personally. But overall, it is growing on me. Maybe it's because of how much it's forced me to play it. I don't know, but yeah, that overall, not my favorite map, but it's in there. And you're right. We actually, I don't think have seen cash out on it in pro play. We did not see it in breakout for cash out. I think it was final round, if I'm not mistaken. I think they ran both matches on there for breakout at the show match last Wednesday. Luck Cup, definitely, I don't think saw it on the mainstream. I'm pretty sure all that we saw was Bernal, Sis, Nozomi, and then I think Vegas one time. So yeah, it's certainly something. So, but it does look like we have our teams. We're just gonna wait on them to get into the lobby now, Cody. And man, I'm curious to see again how I love watching the dojo foul. You know, I don't like playing against triple medium. I don't like playing melee. And I don't like to play it personally, but watching them is a time, to say the least.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like, unfortunately, we might have lost one in the queue, which is causing a little bit of a hiccup on the side of things.
Who are we missing?
We're supposedly missing two, actually.
Interesting.
Well, if anyone on the stream wants to get in, we need 2 slots, so feel free to hop in. If you're not in the Discord, it is !Discord, and you can join in right now. We need 2.
I see 12 at least in the thing, in the roster.
Well, I don't know how to count.
Not in the call.
Potentially.
Well, let's throw it to a break real quick. We won't make you sit here and look at our faces as we continue to do math in our head and figure this out. So we'll be right back in just a second, loading into a cash out. Don't go anywhere. All right, welcome back, everybody. Appreciate your patience. We did have one person drop, it looked like last second as the queue was done, but we have replaced them with one of our lovely moderators, Shaka, W Shaka in the chat. They're going to be filling in here, so now we're just waiting on people to get in the lobby real quick before we get to run it.
Yep, absolutely. I am currently putting everybody in their perfect little spots that they need to be in, and there's quite a lot of them. It's 12. So I'm working on it currently. Sam, keep it moving. Yeah, I fixed it.
Okay. Yeah, so obviously rosters being pretty interesting, especially when you have Wayfoul, Wayfouster, and Wayfoustist. Tough to organize, but it does look like we are finally ready to go, I believe. Yep, I think the lobbies are looking around. I'm checking behind you just real quick to make sure we're good here. Cash out. Obviously tough to manage, especially when they're throwing together teams like this. So,
all right.
All right, let's run it up. Here we go.
All right, boys.
Y'all ready?
All right.
All right.
That's crazy.
Cash out on Bongway City. Cody, I shared my thoughts. You shared yours. I think you said it's similar to Soul, but I know you've played it a lot. Has it grown on you more since you've played it more, or do you dislike it more?
Yeah, no, I think it's different. I think it's definitely the most unique finals map we've gotten, at least since I've been playing, you know. I stand behind you, load into it, and it genuinely doesn't feel like a finals map, at least like from an art style perspective. It feels weird, it feels out of place, but not in a bad way, just different. In terms of playing though, it's definitely unique in a way. It kind of reminds me of some maps in certain areas. I do think it desperately needs a variant, and I think it's been happening for a while, is a lot of maps need more variants. I would be okay with less maps and just more variants. I really would. I think that's kind of what makes the game fun and keeps it changing up, because one extra map doesn't really do as much as, like, say, 2 or 3 extra variants. Keeps things fresh. I would like to see that more, because already, I mean, Nozomi doesn't have any variants. Neither does Fangway. So
Yeah, you're not wrong. Sis Horizon also doesn't have one, and they do feel like new maps to themselves. So, like when they have a variant, something like Duck and Cover, Under Construction, you know, things like that, where they're pretty big shakeups. So I do agree. I would love to see a variant. I expect to see one coming for this map, but starting the match off already, Roxclips hitting a nice shot onto Wade Faustus there to take him out. The Dojo getting lock-bolted there earlier by Utopian, who's also on the Goo Gun, gonna look to control the melee out of the Dojo of Foul, but Baby Metal getting a pick on the Wade Faustus. Wade Faustus picks off Roxclips here. It's a 2v2 situation here. Big Changer trying to get some damage in as well. Does get it on Utopian, and finally the Boundless go down to the Kingfish.
Yeah, absolutely. The Kingfish, a little bit different of a loadout here because they do have Fate Changer in the mix, but nonetheless, still absolutely just raining out so much damage, so much intensity onto the mix. But jumping over onto Agent Penguin, though, holding it out for the live wires. It looks like it's a 1v1 against Jog. The question is, can Jog hold it out? It looks like he does, hitting the CB01 shot onto Agent Penguin, sending the live wires home. GG's go next. Jog says and moves on to get his team reset and move that cash box into play. And we're going to jump across the map over to the Boundless while they're working that out. And it looks like things are already getting hot with the Kingfish. The minigun is spinning up into an intense amount. The double minigun, with Utopian and Baby Metal just absolutely raining so many shots down into Wade Faustus, Fate Changer, and Wade Faustus. Kingfish are in definitely an interesting spot. It looks like they're trying to get some sort of drop here with the sledge. And Rox is just kind of trying to stay alive with the rest of the team. Doesn't really want to get into there, but maybe he should have, because the rest of the team is now dead. It is Roxclips holding out for the Boundless, and the Kingfish are coming in hot. They are the kings of this lobby, currently putting out a lot of domination, coming in with the sledge hit and taking down the Boundless, setting them back for another push. And again, we're going to jump over across to the rest of the map. Sam, let me know what the Big Splash are doing.
Yeah, we do actually see the flamethrower here out of Ebby. We've seen a lot of like non-meta picks here out of him tonight, which has been very fun. You know, we've seen the MGL, seen the CL40, we saw the turret earlier, and now we're seeing the flamethrower. He calls it the funny. He puts an explosive mine right nearby and then basically baits him in and trades it out with the explosive mine. It's pretty hilarious. I've ran it with him quite a bit. But overall, nice damage here coming in. Wade Foul, the last one remaining out of the live wires already. That flamethrower going to be absolutely lethal to that sword player if he can find it. But Wade Foul getting a nice pick on the Mega there, but unfortunately dashes right into the explosive mine. We see the T-bag coming out of Ebby down below.
I'm not too sure. Felt a little intentional, but hold on. It looks like someone's going for a steal on the other side of the map. I need to try to get over there. Here we go. Jumping in, Fate Changer getting the winch, getting winched. And it's not good because you don't want to get winched into a sledge, but maybe it's okay because it's his teammate and I was misinterpreting the situation. But Faustus is taking a lot of damage. Not looking great here. Down goes Faster. Fate Changer tries to get the defib out on, but it's the miniguns. It's trying not to be in a good spot here, but the Boundless are now gone, and all of a sudden the Kingfish are holding out, and we're hitting the emotes like they always do. Jumping back over to the Big Splash, Sam. Take it home.
Yep, jumping back on board with Mango with this M11. You know, very capable weapon here, especially in close range combat like we see here on Fongway City. Ebby finding a nice pick on Agent Penguin there with the RPG. Mango gonna look and see if he can stall this thing out. Does find the pick onto Shaka, where the Grav Cube does get dropped as well, I believe, out of Ebby. This is nice stalling happening out of Big Splash as the cash does go in their favor. Currently tied dollar for dollar with the Kingfish at this moment.
Yeah, absolutely. It seems like Wade Foul can't keep waking up from the nightmare that is this game, because he's constantly the one that is alive looking to go for the hand res. And we're going to jump over to the Boundless that looks like already to be in a fight. Roxclip doing a ton of damage with that Arn, and the double miniguns to just keep the pressure going. Already the damage is coming in, and down goes the Kingfish, and they're going to take 3 and plug it. And Sam, again, I'm going to set you up for the move for going over to Abby.
I was going to say a minute there that I thought I saw somebody on Livewires potentially third-partying that fight. I saw res happen, and I swear I saw a pink tracer or outline, but I'm not quite sure after we zoomed away. Maybe not. It might have been further away and just a little bit of an artifact, but we are going to see the Livewires go ahead and try to push this back into the Boundless. Now, Cody, one thing we keep mentioning is this double minigun out of Utopian and Baby Metal, and that is a great counter against a triple melee team, especially when you have the goo gun from Utopian to help stall them back. You know, if that sword player tries to right click or dash into them, you can stop them dead in their tracks. Wind up your minigun and land it on. So Roxlip's taking a bunch of damage there. I believe they're on Sniper on this map. No, they're on the ARN. My fault. M11, though, out of Agent Penguin here, trying to find some more chip damage. We've seen him consistent on it all night, doing some damage at range, but as we know, the M11 not really the best for range when trying to confirm kills, especially if you're up against the ARN out of Rock's clips. Ebby getting a kill on a Fate Changer with the Flamethrower. Wade Fauster also getting a pick there, but we're jumping back on board. We do see instantly Livewires losing 2 there to the minigun of Baby Metal and the ARN of Rock's clips. Finally, 3v1 Wayfowl, last one remaining in terms of the Livewires, but we're going to jump back over onto Ebby, who's going to try to make an opportunity here for a steal on this box. Wade Fauster does go down as well, and the flip opportunity coming in out of the Big Splash after wiping Kingfish.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry for the hectic change there. For some reason, Q has not been working, and apparently I think it's X now. I'm not too sure. I'm still figuring that out. Something's changed, and it's not working the way I want it to. Regardless of the fact, though, it does seem like the Livewires are not really in a great spot here, right? It seems consistently that Wayfowl is just kind of the one that's left to hold it up for the rest of the Livewires here. But moving out as I slowly pan across the beautiful Chinese architecture is what I'm going to say. I might come back to bite me later in the future. But regardless, hopping back in with the Boundless and the Kingfish are duking it out on this roof. And Fate Changer holding it up for the entire team. Those 2 miniguns really just coming into play here. But a steal is coming out, and the Sledge absolutely just doing a ton of damage. But it looks like Utopian is goose stalling. It's not really too useful of a situation here because Wayfowl is going for the steal, but he's able to get the C4 off and interrupt it. And somehow they stay alive for as long as he did. And it's just Wayfowl up now. Holy Sam, that was a battle. And now the Big Splash is at a whopping 34K with a huge lead on this lobby. The question is, who is going to try to take up the mantle?
Yeah, so I'm curious if we're going to see what we saw just previously in Cash Out when we were on Under Construction for Seoul, right? Are these teams going to realize that there's nothing to play for but first place? Are they going to continue fighting each other, or are they going to start targeting Big Splash and try to get them out of the lead? Because honestly, with the exception of Livewires, everybody is within lethal damage, or I guess money, of an 18K box, right? With the exception of maybe some kills out of the Kingfish needed, they are still in a position where maybe a wipe and some kills, especially if it comes in on the Big Splash, can get them the opportunity to actually finish in first with only an 18K box. They just got to make sure that they're focused on the objective and play around that. But we are seeing actually the fight break out, people getting money earned on the Livewires who have been struggling a bit this game. We see only 2K to their name. Down goes Agent Penguin to the hands of Mango. We found the last one remaining on the Livewires, but the box does get plugged. Utopian picking up Vault 6, though. We do see that in the UI. Thank you, Embark, for adding that, as it makes Cash Out a lot easier to follow. Looks like it's going to go ahead and run it over and maybe look for the double here. And this is exactly what we were talking about earlier, right? Pink now, if this gets doubled, anybody can win this game. With the exception of Livewires. I figured they had enough. I feel like that's a bug, right? On the UI currently, shouldn't they be in first? There it is. It took a sweet time, but they jumped it back up. And now we see the flip coming in out of the Boundless, Cody, as they now continue to hold the box. But steal attempt coming in out of the Kingfish. Now this is an opportunity that they need as they are on that Sledgehammer. This could be huge for them. Double Sledge opportunity. Finally finds it onto Baby Metal, who has been ripping them with the minigun, it feels like, all game. Momentum happening in the favor of the Kingfish. Fauster, I believe, going to go ahead and double back. The smoke coming out of Wade Faustus as the steal attempt comes in out of him. No mesh shield, unfortunately, though. Double winch, which is going to be a little bit more difficult to try to push through your jog. Finding the pick on the Wade Faustus. Fate Changer does get the defib on the Wade Faustus, though. Kind of resetting the fight here. Big Splash still down a man, as now every team has started to converge onto this box. There's not actually a ton of time remaining here, and the Kingfish need to get a flip. We've seen him go for about 3 times now, but but they're running out of time as every team is going to be in here and raining down on them and when they try to steal it, but the flip does go in their possession. Mango getting one onto Way Faustus, Jog finding one onto Rock Splits here. Everybody is taking damage from every single team. Utopian finding the pick on the Wayfell. Ebby finding one on the Age of Ping with the flamethrower. The minigun coming out of Utopian on the Shaka the Baka. Everybody in this lobby from every single team is currently down somebody, Cody. It is a complete toss-up on who will get this box here. Wade Fauster does get the winch onto Ebby, but Ebby with that flamethrower, the afterburn, doing enough to pick up Wade Fauster there to wipe them. Utopian finding a pick on Ebby as well as Mango does get a pick on a Baby Metal. We do see the flip opportunity coming in and out of Uto. He does get it just in time. Mango finding the pick onto him, but just a little too late. 7 seconds remaining. No steal opportunity inbound for them. And the Boundless, just enough out of Utopian to be able to get this box and bring it home.
What a match, Sam. I was running out of breath, and I could tell you were holding it down just the right way that we needed it. That was incredibly fun to watch. The double minigun, the absolute craziness with the double sledge. I mean, there was a whole lot of dynamism coming out from almost every single direction of Fangway City, if you even want to call it that. I think we just found out what it would look like under construction.
Oh my gosh, just every single person was fighting someone there at the end. I mean, that is what happens when things double, but that felt just unbelievably chaotic, right? Every single person had somebody dead at some point. That does happen, obviously, when a box is double, but it was just non-stop. Just different colors in the kill feed. It just turned into the point of you just had to sit there and stare at it. Like, it was impossible to look at the screen because you needed to just track what was happening in the kill feed. But overall, the double minigun out of Utopian and Baby Metal, look at the damage out of them. I mean, just absolutely raining down havoc into the double sledge team. And I guess, like I said, that's one way to hold them back. Push through, what is it, like 300 rounds each in the minigun? That's 600 bullets coming your way, and trying to get through that's going to be a tough one.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, such an incredible set of games here. And while, you know, we don't have too much time left, I don't know if Sam has mentioned it, but we are looking to hit right around that 2-hour mark. So if you are watching right now, now's the time to get in the queue because we don't have too many more games left. I think we're looking to end in about 20, 30 minutes from here. But if you miss today, that doesn't mean you won't have a ton more chances because every single Tuesday, you will have a chance to hop in the queue and play and get your games casted. It will be a great time.
Yeah, and on the topic of casting, right? If you want to learn how to cast or you want to learn how to observe and you want to try to hold your breath and not have a heart attack during that final fight, let us know. Join the Discord, !Discord in chat. Join up, submit a ticket to us, let us know you're interested in casting or observing for pugs, or if you want to help us run these lobbies and get people in, you know, that's another thing that I think we're finding we could use is a little bit of TO. If you're interested at all in helping out with Tuesday Night Pugs, let us know. This place is meant for you to practice as well, not just for people to play pugs, but also for you. If you're interested in talent, just like Cody and I are, it's a big push for us this year to cast more, to get better at it. This is your place. So whether you have zero experience or whether you have major experience, we'll take you. Let us know.
Yeah, we are definitely building our, what's the word I'm looking for? Our stamina. Because that match especially, I mean, whoo, my mouth, my throat, everything is struggling to hold on.
I think after that double fight there,
I'm gonna get clipped out of context for that.
After the doubling fight there at the end, my chest started hurting. Like I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, me too.
Like there's so much.
I'm trying to hold out. I'm like, I'm not gonna switch to Sam. I'm waiting for this fight to end.
Oh my god.
I gotta hold out.
Yeah, well, we do have 11 out of 12 currently in the pug queue. We just need one more in there to get another cash out.
I see a lot of people in here.
People are loving cash out. So if you want to have an opportunity to join in, head on over to the Discord, go down to the Cash Out Pugs channel. Actually, I'll give you a little look. Head over to our Discord. Make sure you pick up the LFG tag while you're there so you can be pinged when people are looking for group or when we're hosting pugs. Say it's not on Tuesday night. See, you know, maybe people want to run them up. You can go ahead and grab that as you're onboarding to the Discord. But if you want to play, just jump right in here, click that join queue button, and you'll be entered in. And just like that, you will be divided amongst teams and meet new people as you continue to play the finals, the world's greatest game show.
That was beautiful.
Thank you. I felt like I capitalized on that one.
Yeah, that was good. Feels really good there.
Well, Cody, I think I could take a quick break while we wait and get this sorted out. What do you think?
It's fine. We can do that.
Okay. Sounds good. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with probably our final game of the evening here in just a moment. We'll see you soon. All right, welcome back, everybody. Did you miss us? Oh, we aren't gone that long, I promise. But
I missed you guys.
We missed you guys, yeah. We're running it back. Cody, I think, yeah, this is going to be our last game of the evening. We're rolling up on 10 o'clock here. I know we've been going at it for a while, and maybe, you know, if the crowd's still around, we'll jump in for some pugs. I could be down to run a couple, you know, get involved.
Well, I would like that.
But I can't run the broadcast while also doing it. You know how it is. So, or at least the way we're doing it. Maybe I could cast my POV, you could cast yours, you know, we go from there. Or stream it. You know what I'm saying. There's a lot going on in my brain right now with everything we're doing. You know, flying by the seat of our pants, the TFC way, if you will. But
and we do it damn good, I'll have to say.
we do. So again, thank you everybody who's tuned in tonight, hanging out with us. If you're new here, I'm Sam. That's Cody. We run a channel and community called the Finals Central, where we've tried to kind of bridge the gap between the casual and competitive community. And events like this happening every Tuesday now. This is our first week of running it, and as long as interest continues, we will continue to run these for you. So once again, I'll give the spiel. If you want to get some practice in, join the Discord. If you want to learn how to cast or observe, or if you already know how, you just want to flex your skills and get some reps in, let us know as well. This is very much your place as well as ours. It's an opportunity for you to have low stakes environment. It's got to test new things. You can probably tell it in our casting style a little bit tonight that, you know, we're trying new things because, you know, no big deal. Not a major tournament. We're just having fun with it. So what's up, your sensei? Welcome in. I see a lot of familiar usernames. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome in. I hope you're having a great evening. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. We are waiting for our final match. This is going to be the last one of the evening that we will be casting here. It's one more cash out. We just played two. We had an absolute bang out on Fangway. I mean, insane. I about had a heart attack casting the last bit of that as the box was doubled by Utopian, and somehow with a goo gun managed to steal that thing. It was insane. The VOD will be published here on the channel as well on both YouTube and Twitch, where we are live on both. So if you're not already there, make sure you go drop your follows and subs and all of those things. And if you want to play, join the Discord, !Discord in chat to join up. Anybody is welcome of any skill level. We've had people who haven't played the game in months, people who play the game a lot. So there you go. But it does look like the teams are being made now. I'm looking to see if they've been selected. It looks like they have been. I think we're about ready to get underway. The lobby code has been shared out, Cody, and what do you think we're seeing this time?
I'm not too sure. You know, we do have a little bit more control over these than because of the lack of map picks. So the question is, if anybody in chat has a particular map that they want to see, well, maybe we could make it happen. You know, variants are up for debate. We could do something a little interesting. Let me know. Yeah, be prepared. Fangway again. We already saw Fangway, but we could do it again.
I was gonna say, you just
Soul. We did have Soul. Low grab. We could do low grab if everyone agrees to the game show. That's fine with me.
What if we do? I was low-key thinking, what if we do duck and cover on Monaco? That could be a decent one. Young, you did just miss an absolute bang out.
Yeah, it was a great
like
game.
Genuinely a bang out. The end of that game was beyond cinema. I almost had a heart attack trying to cast the whole thing. It was crazy. So awesome, awesome time. This has been a ton of fun. I'm glad to see that people are into it. The community has come together in the Discord. And once again, if you guys want to join exclamation point Discord. They are open to anyone and everyone. It's on a first come, first serve in the queue, so just queue up. We run both cash out and final rounds simultaneously, so if you don't like cash out, you can gather 5 people and hop into the queue for final round. It is totally doable. So yeah. Sorry, I saw the error pop up and I didn't know what that was.
No, you're all good. Me too. We'll do, you know what? We'll have fun for the last one if everyone's okay with it. We'll do game show. I am kind of down for.
I think you have to choose
something interesting.
First, maybe?
I know. What is a fun map for low graph?
This is Omi. It could be.
Maybe you want to just go out flying. Why can't I change the game show?
Oh, standard issue.
Oh, here we go.
There you go. There you go. Shows you how often we run game show events.
They do not want low graph. They want to leave low graph the chance.
Low graph is anti-foul propaganda. Okay, they do have a point. They do have a point. Yeah, leave it on any.
Is any okay?
I'll give you a little sneak peek of what's happening, chat. Here you go. You can
foul not approved of low gravity. May Oscar bless this match. I don't know if he's here to save you.
He's asleep.
I don't know. Dead Go Boom could be fun.
Dead Go Boom could go cool. I wish Headhunter was in here. I wish it was a permanent game show event. That would go insane. I'm sorry. It would go sick. But no way. It's the GOATs. What's up, Tetra? Welcome in, the goated caster himself.
All right, we're doing Sunny, Sister Horizon, Dead Go Boom. Okay, they want any. Whatever.
They want any. I've seen a lot of any in chat.
Whatever. All right. They have spoken. Let me get them into the right places that they need to be, and then we can get into the match. I think it is Wave Faustus. That is Gary, if I remember correctly. Foul.
They really don't make it easy. We'll have to change their server nicknames for us.
Make it easy for us, but it is okay. Sam, why don't you start talking about the teams that we have? We're ending it off. Tell us who we got going.
So it looks like they did do another draft, I want to say. It does not look like random teams. Oh, it was random. Never mind. But we are seeing the run back of Nex and Utopian and Rock Squibbler again, who just took the match before this home. It was quite an entertaining experience where we saw the double minigun and goo gun out of Utopian. And after doubling the box right out at the end on Fangoy City, it became beyond cinema. It was crazy. You saw absolutely the maximum of dynamism in the finals. It was pretty crazy nonetheless. But it does look like things are about ready to get underway here. Cody, last match of the game. Or the night, I guess. What are we looking for, man?
I think you caught me at a very Chinese time in my life. That's about it. That's all I can say.
All right. Well, loading into, I don't really know if we would call it Chinese, Sister Horizon. But this is going to be an interesting one. We did turn game show events on per request of the crowd in the lobby, okay? It was ranked rule set. Yep. Now it's not. That means people also are going to be able to change their classes up.
I have to say, too, now that Tetra's here, we kind of got to pull out our books for the last match. Going into Sister Horizon, like Sam said, any game show, it really could be up for debate. I'm really hoping for low graph because I think it'd be very fun, and we're already seeing Utopian kind of struggle to see what they want to run, but we do see the CL40. I see a lot of heavy Sam. I see 2 lights and a medium. There are some interesting approaches, and we are going in hot into Sister Horizon. Start it for us.
Yeah, we are jumping in. And I will say, interesting choice. I saw Utopian for a second there think about the dual blades, and I have the feeling he was worried about the 2 Dojo of Foul fellas probably being on Sledgehammer, you know. But actually, they are all split up. Every single Dojo of Foul player is on a different team. We see Wave Foul over on the side of the Big Splash. We've got Wave Faustus on the side of the Kingfish. And we got Wave Fauster on the side of the Livewire. Speaking of which, Wave Faustus finding a pick onto Fate Changer. We're going to jump on board with Ebby now to see what he can make happen here. Nice shots on that ARN landing onto Baby Mel, but does get traded out by Rock's Clips.
We went too far.
We do switch over, though, and now we're back onto Rock's Clips as a res is starting to come in onto Utopian. And it does look like the Boundless are going to control Vault 2 here, Cody.
Yeah, absolutely. I get a little mixed up with the keys. It's the dementia kicking in, but regardless, we are seeing the Boundless Utopian moving the box over to B. And, oh, I'm sorry. I got my, wait, why is it orange? Okay, I don't know. The colors are all weird here. I'm sorry. I'm Tetra's here and I'm nervous. Anyways, regardless, we are jumping in with the Boundless, and The Big Splash are duking it out for control of this box. Already, damage is coming in. It looks like we got a gateway ready for reset if need be, and Wei Fowl is taking a lot of damage. So is Jog. Down goes Evie by the hands of Baby Metal with the Shack, and more damage is coming in. That sword is looking detrimental from Wei Fowl. Already very scary. It looks like they have a gateway to reset. Maybe try to get Evie up, not too sure, but the Boundless are looking in a good position here, starting to move the vault over, maybe trying to get a plug here, and the Big Splash are now up and ready to go, ready to fight the Boundless on their way over to A. The question is, how far behind them are they? And it looks like Evie is right above, already getting shots, but Rock says no thank you with the M11 and takes him down almost instantaneously. Down goes Baby Metal, though, by the hands of Jog with the CB01 repeater, and this is already looking to be a good fight. The defib comes out. It is Wei Fowl and Jog up against the 3 Boundless, and it is not enough because down goes Jog, down goes Wei Fowl, and the Boundless have control of this box, Sam.
Yeah, nice shots there out of the Boundless. Jog finding himself in a bit of a positional nightmare, right? Typically, with that CB01 repeater, like you mentioned, that's not a bad spot to be. Kind of in that mid-range, maybe get some pop shots off if you could find the pick on the Ebby, or not Ebby, sorry, on the Rock's clips there. But ultimately, actually, the CL40 off the pad from Utopian coming in clutch. They're putting in a ton of damage onto Jog, but we're going to go ahead and move things over here on to Cash Out B, where it does seem like it's silent, but we're starting to actually see the live wires starting to make a move over towards A. Going to get back on board with the Boundless, who we've seen take control of this cash out. Now we're going to see how they can hold it, where position does actually benefit the Big Splash, but they've got to move with urgency, and it looks like Ebby actually died early. I'm not even sure to who, but we're going to jump on board with Jog now to see what he can make happen with his repeater. He has been pretty solid with it all night. Might have a little bit of nerves knowing that he's on camera. Jog, hit a shot, brother. Come on now. Gonna go ahead and hit the reload, load up 8 more here. Does find a shot onto Wave Fauster, though, with that Sledge and Winch Claw. This is gonna be a tough position for that loadout. Jog finally landing some shots, but does get picked up by Baby Metal. We see the third party coming in out of the live wires. Now steal attempts coming in out of Wave Fauster there in the bottom left of your screen, but he's gonna take a ton of damage to Rock Clip. Utopian's gonna pick up Fate Changer. Utopia finding another one with that CL40 onto Wave Foul. Meanwhile, Wave Foul also trading out with Rock's Clips. Utopian going absolutely massive here as Neo down to 1 HP. If he falls into the sightline of that CL40, he could go down, but instead, actually, Ebby is going to find him with that arrow. And it feels like everybody in the lobby is here right now. We're seeing a ton of damage now come in as the steal attempt is blocked. Wait, Faustus does get a pick onto Baby Metal. We see the emote out of Utopian, but it does cause him to wind up wiping instead.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not too sure if it was worth it, but Agent Penguin might be getting the hand res. Seems to get it off. Not a great position for Ebby here, but maybe they don't notice. Down goes Agent Penguin, but it's not enough. Shaka turns around and says, sorry, you get one, but not the second, just the appetizer. And the Kingfish are now in an interesting spot. Not a good spot, though, for the live wire, Sam, with 0 cash to their name. They're broke, and they are struggling. They might need to start panhandling on the streets of Sister Horizon. But regardless, already getting into it with the Kingfish because the Boundless are right behind them. Utopian with the CL40 just raining down damage. Agent Penguin incredibly low. Not in a too good of a spot, but he is a light so he can dash away and get into a better position. And the Boundless are doing exactly that, Sam. They're also maneuvering around, and it looks like the live wires Fate Changer is not too far behind. The CL40 from Utopian continues just to absolutely rain in damage, and he's looking to get some more. They're trying to go for the res, and they're stuck in a corner, which is not where you want to be with the CL40. Down goes Agent Penguin. It is just Wave Faustus, and it's not good. He tries to get away. The Lockbolt keeping him down, and the Kingfish is... there it is. There's the emote again.
I love it out of him. Utopian doing a great job with positioning here on that CL40. Like you said, Cody, he did sneak up behind there and find quite a few picks, pinning them into the wall there. Agent Penguin going down, unfortunately, to him. Steal attempt now coming in out of Baby Metal Fan, also known as Nex in our Discord. The flip does come in favor of the Boundless. Now they're going to rotate out, maybe try to hit a rotate here. Rock's Clips, though, I don't know if he has a gateway set or any way for them to get stuck, so it could be the Boundless, Cody, actually getting stuck in that position. But we're switch over to the Big Splash now. We see in our UI on the right side now that Jog actually controls Vault 4, and they're going to go ahead and rotate this over to C. Now, this cash out position, Cody, is one that's out in the open, right? It's right on top of that floating bridge. And, you know, overall, it could wind up working out in their favor. But we see a fight breaking out back over here on cash out D. We saw Wayfaustus picking up somebody on the live wires. That means 3 teams are here. Wayfaustus getting the res onto Fate Changer, bringing them back up to full strength. Kingfish, though, taking quite a bit of damage. And this is working out great if you're the Boundless currently, as you do have the height advantage, it looks like, on all of these teams, especially when you have that CL40 in your hands. And for the folks at home, you know, these players don't have outlines on their screen. They don't know that these players are here. They're just kind of finding information out in real time, whereas us watching, we know that all of them are down below, and we know how great of an opportunity this is for the Boundless. Wayfaustus, though, on that sledgehammer, trying to see if he could hit the winch ball, does not connect. Gonna go ahead and stick a res here. Boundless, box still in their possession and looking great while defending it.
Yeah, absolutely. We see the winch come out, maybe try to get a little bit closer for the steal, and it's exactly what they're trying to do. Wayfaustus is trying to hold it out, but it's not enough. Down goes Wayfaustus, down goes a lot. Oh, I'm sorry. Am I just reading wrong? No, I'm sorry. They got a pick on Neo, and they're going for the steal. They're in a good spot. Someone tries to interrupt, but it's not enough because the sledge right click is too much to handle. It is just Wayfaustus holding it out for the Kingfish, and they are in a great spot here, Sam. 22K on the board, but a hell of a lot under the Boundless because they are sitting at a nice 34K.
Yeah, Boundless
too sure
doing
what's gonna
an
happen here.
incredible job of controlling that cash out, reading the third party, repositioning and holding that high ground, letting Utopian enable the team with that CL40. Rox Clips, of course, doing a great job as well at cleaning a lot of that up with that ARN. I mean, overall, just incredible gameplay out of them.
Yep, absolutely. Already jumping in with Rox, looking for a gateway, maybe to get some sort of angle. Throws down the Vanish, but immediately gets interrupted because all of the big splash is just kind of really being on top of their game. But do they notice the rest of the Boundless going under them? That is the question. It looks like Rox is trying to get up with his team. Maybe he wasn't too familiar with what was going on. It is now just Rox because Jog absolutely popping off with the CB01 repeater. The gate comes out, trying to get a res. Maybe he's going to hold it. Not too sure. It looks like no one chased him. He's a little scared. Rox trying to get this res out, and it looks like the big splash is going to let him have it because you know what? We need this box. We're not going to chase it. We're smart. We're not going to give in to the aggression that we love so much, and Rox just struggling to really get any sort of angle here. If I were them, I would probably just run away. Maybe GG's go next, but there's only 30 seconds, Sam. There's not a ton of time to do much of anything at all. The Boundless just in such a good spot here. 34K, they can do just about anything as long as they're influencing the match to their, I mean, whatever they want it to be, whoever they want to succeed, it is up to them. And already Rox is starting to get that damage in with the M11. Sam, what is going to happen next with 10 seconds on the clock?
Boundless did a great job with a heads-up play of looking at the clock and realizing there wasn't much time and they needed to interrupt this plug, and sure enough, it works out in their favor. There's nothing that can be done, right? They just went ahead and collapsed onto them and closed out the last 20 seconds, forced to fight. No plug happens. GG's Boundless, take it home.
Yep, absolutely. You couldn't have summed it up better. But looking at the leaderboard, we see Utopian with the CL40, something that you don't see people pop off with, but apparently he is putting something on the map, and that is the CL40 with 9 eliminations, 9 assists, and only 3 deaths. I'm sorry, 3 revives too. That's pretty good. Not only. Okay, it's hard to get revives out here, especially with the CL40. But looking at the rest of the leaderboard, Sam, I'll let you take it off. I do see Wayfaustus over there.
I was going to say, Wayfaustus, it's hard to not see that big 10-3 there, 5,500 damage, by the way. Utopian as well, 6,700, the most in the lobby with 9 kills. Like you said, we saw just a lot of great positioning out of him overall, just holding height, showing patience, using his pad to get a lot of value from up above where nobody was really shooting at him, or, you know, it's harder to track him when he's in the air and things like that. Rox as well, 7-2, doing a great job of cleaning up a lot of the follow-up damage from Utopian, and Baby Metal as well, just honestly putting in what he needs to in order, you know, to keep it going. I mean, he and Rox trading out a lot of these kills, roughly the same amount of damage between the two of them. So overall, a great match. Livewires unfortunately struggled to get off the ground a little bit there. Wayfaustus 1-5, Fate Changer 0-6, Neo 0-6, unfortunately.
Yeah, absolutely. Such an incredible set of games, and unfortunately, I think we're going to have to call an end to the stream, but it is not over just yet. Maybe we might play something, so stick around and hang out and chat. And if you didn't get to play this time, you can absolutely play next Tuesday because we are doing it how many times? Every week? Is that what you just said?
Every week
Oh
we will
my
be running these back. But
gosh.
on top of that, if you want to run these yourselves, they won't be casted, of course. But if you just want to play, you want to play with people in the community, you want to continue to run cash outs and things like that, like they did tonight, head over to the Discord. Anybody can spin these up at any time. Just join the queue, ping the LFG roll. You've got our go ahead on that, and get it going. I mean, we don't have to start it for you. So if that's of interest to you, check it out. Once again, if you're a caster, observer, or potentially want to be and you want to try your hand at it, join our Discord, !Discord, and chat here. I'll tell you what, I'll do it for you. Here you go, 1 second, !Discord. Get in there. Our goal is to have 1,000 members by the end of the year. It's one of our goals here at TFC. We got quite a few this year that we're trying to hit, and that's a big one for us. So definitely join up. If, again, you are a caster observer, submit a ticket. We will review it, and we'd love to get you on the show probably in the next few weeks after we've gotten a couple more of these under our belt. You know, we're feeling pretty good. I think we've gotten into the rhythm a bit, but, you know, we just want to make sure that you have the best experience as somebody coming into our, as a guest into our house, I guess you could say, except this is also your own. With that, guys, I think we're going to be ending the stream, though, over at least on TFC, on YouTube and Twitch. Cody, I don't know if you'll be going back live, but we're going to have to end your stream there at least, so you can if you want to. I'm going to stay live. I'm live every Monday through Friday from 8 p.m. to 12 a.m. Eastern, so I'm going to stay live. I'm going to jump into some of these pugs myself and have a good time, and you can watch my gameplay over on TFC_Sam. If Cody goes live, we'll hop the share chat back up, and you can watch both of us. So, Cody, anything else to say before we head on out of here?
All I ask is that you go and check out my stream because I'm trying to get affiliate. I'm not as cool as Sam. Please just come check it out.
Yeah, definitely come check out Cody. He's trying to stream more often as well, and got a lot more underway. Thursday night, by the way, around the arena, our finals podcast. I'd argue the top finals podcast at this point. I don't know. There's only 2, and we love the ball. Those are our boys. So Rio is joining us though this week. We're going to be talking about his experience at the major, what it's like to cast the major. We're also going to probably have an interview with Craze, the owner, I believe, of Breakout. So we're excited to see that one.
Yes,
go check out the episode. It's going to be live on all channels. So TFC Sam, TFC Cody, the Final Central on Twitch, and the Final Central on YouTube. It'll be a live recording. And then after that, we will cut again, and then we will go, we'll go back live with some gameplay and things like that. So thank you guys for tuning in. We'll be back with you shortly if you're going to continue to watch us play some games. So see you later. Have a good night.